Plus the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are missing starting offensive lineman Garrett Bradbury and Morgan Moses, along with Verdarian Lowe, Anthony Jennings, and defensive lineman Kairos Tonga at practice yesterday as they get ready for a home playoff game against the LA Chargers on Sunday night. Chargers top running back Amarian Hampton was among the missing on the field yesterday as well. In college football news, it'll be Miami against Mississippi at the Fiesta Bowl this evening in the national semifinals. At TD Garden last night, Peyton Watson scored 30 points, and on a night when they didn't have Nikola Jokic, Denver still came to TD Garden and snapped the Celtics' four-game winning streak, 114-110. Jaylen Brown scored a game-high 33 for the Green in the loss.
It was probably just that type of game where they hit every shot off our mistakes, which it is the NBA, so usually that does happen. So we got to tighten that up. I feel like we've done a really good job of not turning it over and making bad reads, so like maybe today we made a couple of those.
That was Peyton Pritchard. Celtics allowed 14 straight points to the Nuggets in the fourth quarter and never recovered. They host Toronto tomorrow night. A big trade in the NBA last night. Atlanta finally shipped out all-star guard Trae Young. He was sent to the Washington Wizards for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. And the Bruins play Calgary at TD Garden tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the court, course, or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
30, May drops back, looking to throw. Steps up. Unbelievable.
For the first time in 6 years, it's NFL playoff football at Gillette Stadium.
Travion through the right side. Touchdown, New England.
Drake May and the Patriots take on Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Sunday night at 8, the New England Patriots are back in the playoffs. And you'll hear every moment of the action right here. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah, boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, pussy, kitty. Flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Tomatoes.
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 Hummus.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Good morning to you. We're in the Town Fair Tires studios. You can give us a call, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube.
You gotta try it.
This is my last day with my rental car, hopefully. 2 weeks after we took my son's car in, it's done.
What are you tooling around in? Some sweet-ass Subaru or a Hyundai? What is it?
A Hyundai. And the only problem I'm having with the Hyundai, it's lower than I'm used to, but I did drive a low car before this. But when you're going from the Bronx to the Hyundai, it's very low. But it was encased in ice this morning. I'm not having... I've had a schedule to get here. That's right. I've had a schedule to get here for our meeting time. And for some reason, this has been very, very difficult for me in one way or another. I got in the car today, and it was just encased in ice. And it's a rental car, so I know I should carry around like some kind of, thing that I can press a button and it unfurls into an ice pick, and I can get the ice off the car. So I sat in there doing that, and then I thought I had left my phone at home, but it was in my jacket pocket instead of my pant pocket, so I was on the way home. I turned around to come home because I thought I forgot my phone. And then there was the diarrhea dog incident before this week. So things conspiring against me as we roll into the weekend, the first week back here on the show. It's there's these little curveballs life throws at you, and then this is what you live with. But I'll tell you this, is that the Hyundai ain't slow, baby.
Oh.
The Hyundai get cooking.
What do you get, a Sonata, Santa Fe? What are you driving?
I believe
Palisade?
it might be a Sonata.
That's impressive.
I believe it might be a Sonata. What I like is when you park it, it says how long the trip was in miles and time.
Huh.
That's an exciting feature for me. I do have a question though. So if you're merging onto Route 9, this wasn't this morning, there's no one on the roads, but if you're merging onto Route 9 at a busy time of day and there's a yield sign and you stop at the yield sign with your left blinker on, and you're like, and there's, so when you, by my house, when you're merging onto Route 9, there's like kind of like a wall. It's very hard to see, and cars are going like 60 miles an hour.
You kind of have that tough turn too. It's an off ramp, but then you have that left turn that's sharp. That's very difficult. I've done that. Yeah.
Okay, but this
I know
is
exactly what it is.
But this is merging. Like once you've made that left, you're like merging on, and then, and what's funny is like I'll go like I can't really see. Like I'm in this like Hyundai I'm not used to. Like I can't really see, so I'm like being careful. And this has happened to me a couple times. A car will come flying behind me and start like honking, like slam the brakes. I'm at a full stop. Like I didn't stop in front of the car. I've been at a full stop, like waiting to get over, and the car like just comes and then like honks at me, and there's nothing there that is enraging, and I can explain to you why. Is because not only are they about to hit you, but which is like basically someone throwing a punch at you. Like they're about to hit you, and then they have the audacity to blame you for being stopped. That like if you're driving down the road and there's a car stopped and you hit it, that's your fault.
There are two things here. First of all, the yield to get onto a highway, in theory, you're supposed to be moving, even if it's slowly.
This is Route 9, though.
No, I understand. Let me get to my second point. My second point is that off-ramp we were just talking, that on-ramp we were just talking about is not really an on-ramp. It's an on-ramp with a turn that has, 20 yards of space? Whatever it is, it's a tough left-hand turn, so that's a little different. That's kind of a left onto the highway instead of just kind of merging onto the highway. If you're just merging, the rule of thumb is to go, keep moving.
Okay,
but
if I get on 95, well, first of all, if I get on 95 here south, as you've experienced, I mean, sometimes you can't just merge on.
Almost got crushed by a truck yesterday.
Yeah, like I got. Yeah, you can't just. Yeah, there's a time.
An 18-wheeler wasn't stopping. I knew exactly.
Yes. If the rule is that you have to keep moving, well, I got news for you. Well,
the worst part about it was there was no snowbank. That truck saw me the entire way and had me lined up.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Yeah, if you're, I get on the freeway like 99 out of 100, I'll be moving, but sometimes like I don't care to die, so so that's not gonna happen. But this is Route 9. Like no, there's no theory to it. If there's a lot. Route 9 just got traffic. It's only 2 lanes. If I can't get over, I can't get over. I can't just. There's no room, as you know. I'd run out of road. I would get in an accident. Like I gotta stop. You gotta stop. It's a yield sign. Mm-hmm. Like a yield sign means that you yield to traffic.
Which could mean a full stop for some amount of time if you're yielding.
Yeah, I don't understand the presumption. I guess the presumption that you are that like I'm somehow just to like by force of will and nature or why anyone would care. Like, I can't get over. Like, what do you care?
I was told when I first moved here because people are like, oh, you're going to have to learn the rotary or something. I said, I understand how to drive in rotaries. This is not the only place on the planet that has rotaries or roundabouts, as they are called.
Depending upon where you live.
Yeah, depending on where you live. But I was told, oh, well, just know that when around here, looking left when you're entering a rotary is a sign of weakness.
Right.
What? No. That's not right. But there's still I see him every day. There's a rotary I have to go through multiple times a day, every day, and there are people who treat it like that. I'm just going.
Yeah, I would prefer not to get in a car accident. That's my theory on the whole thing. You know, I'll go fast. I don't go slow in the left lane. But I'm not gonna get hit in the car, hit my car smashed, and become paralyzed because you're a tough guy coming behind me.
Well, especially in the Santa Fe, you don't want to bang up that thing.
Well, it's not. The Bronco's 2 tons. I mean, it's got roll bars. If you hit me in the Bronco, you're taking the brunt of that. That mess.
That's nice.
The Hyundai Santa Fe. I'm a little closer to the windshield. I'm not overly comfortable. And then I become enraged, and then so I pull onto Route 9, and then I go 1. And then and the guy can't get past me
Nice.
because there's all the traffic going the other way, and I fantasize that he'll come to the door because my dog's in the car, and then
that dog's a time bomb.
The dog's I don't know how much damage it would do, but it's got a lot of pit bull in it, and it would certainly bite the guy, and so that would at least be funny to me, and so I fantasize about it. But then they usually keep it wide. I mean, that enrages me. Very little road rage anymore. Or I never really got a ton of road rage. I did in Dorchester have to get out of the car on several occasions and tell people you can't just park in the road. Like I can't. There's nothing I can do. Like you're just parked in the road. I would go up and
hey, Columbia.
Can you move on Columbia Avenue? Can you just Columbia Avenue and then the other one too? Just can you just you're parked in the road.
Yeah.
And there's no getting around you. Like you gotta.
There's no other parking. They got to go in there.
Yeah, I mean you have your hazards on, and I understand that.
Yeah. Well, that makes it okay.
Yeah, but there is this inability to move. You've stopped traffic, and this has you gotta at least roll over a little bit so I can get by you.
Oh, see, now I'm getting an MBTA update there. This is on the Providence Stoughton line, which is the exact line that I have to take later today to get to the boat show.
Oh, the big boat show appearance today.
Because I am not driving down to the Thomas M. Menino Convention Center for a 4 p.m. appearance.
That's a veteran move right there.
I will not
take a lift.
Don't be doing that.
Take a lift and expense it. Boom.
Yeah, but you're still going to be sitting in a car for a really long time. I'm going to have to figure out and stress about how much time it's going to take.
Well, we'll tell you. It tells you on the app when you'll get there.
I'll look at it. I'm not dismissing you, Fred. I will consider it when it comes time to do it. But right now,
and even if you don't expense it, you can write it off.
You tell me this though, just on your gut reaction. You know where I live,
yeah,
and you know the Menino Convention Center is the one at the seaport.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So right now, if the trains get back on schedule, it's power outage, Mansfield.
Oh,
so
okay.
you're dealing with delays right now on the Providence Stoughton line.
Right.
If it's back on schedule, I've already mapped it out. I can leave my house at 3:06 p.m. this afternoon and be in that convention center by 4 p.m. via commuter rail and walking the half mile to the convention center. It's mapped. It's done. Assuming everything is on time.
Weather's not supposed to be bad today, right?
No,
it's warm.
Yeah.
So that is a total of 54 minutes.
You're going to be
what do you think the Uber time would be at that time of day?
From Canton,
yes,
to down to the seaport.
Yes,
easily that much.
Easily.
But you would get dropped off at the convention center.
True. True.
I'll think about it. I don't know, Fred. I don't know.
I just am not a fan of you got to drive to the train and then you get on the train and that's fine. Being on the train's fine.
Yeah.
But then you got to drive. You got to walk the half mile.
There's something about traveling 93 north at that hour where you feel powerless.
But you're in the back of a car,
I
so
know.
it doesn't matter.
But
I know.
That's why when Bob Bronson worked in Manhattan and they gave him the option of the parking spot or the car service, that he took the parking spot, it drives me insane. Because the whole thing is, if you have a driver, who cares? If you have a driver, if you drive, you're sitting at home. Being in a car and not driving, like, I'm not talking about like going 18 hours or something, but being in a car for even an hour when you're not driving, you can watch TV, you can watch a movie, you could go to sleep. I mean, I couldn't, but normal people could go to sleep. There's no, it's like being at home. It's being at home, like basically with the power out. You could bring, and say you had a regular job, you could, do spreadsheets or whatever the hell you got to do. You could do anything. That's the thing. That's why when Francesa had Julio, he'd get 5 newspapers. He'd be back there killing it, preparing for the big show.
Yeah.
He'd have a sports almanac out. He'd be looking at every heavyweight champion in the 1800s.
You got to factor in, though, for my purposes today, then you got to get home. So now you're going south and really dealing with the traffic at 6
Well, you could
p.m.
always take the train home. So, I mean, you're not. You're not.
Yeah.
See, here's the deal: is that if it was a financial thing, I do understand, because say the appearance you're making, I don't know, $300 to do the appearance, or I don't know.
I'm making $8,000.
Okay, then I would take a lift.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But if you were, I don't know how much. It's probably part of a bigger buy, and it's a bunch of other stuff, and it's maybe harder to factor. But I could see, like, if you were, let's put a number on it. Like back in the day, you would get like $300 for a 2-hour appearance.
Yeah.
If the car ride was going to be like $50 each way, and that's $100, and then after taxes and everything, you're basically just breaking even on the thing. That I understand.
Yeah.
But there is, like, if they're like, you have to be at the city for something for work at this time, that's an expense that any other part of this company would take. I mean, no one would be paying for that. In fact, I have a feeling if the economy was a little bit more labor friendly, and like if it was like it was in 99, when my friends that had regular jobs were just going job to job to job to job to job because businesses were so desperate for employees. And I had a girlfriend who went into work one day, and the boss had a cowboy hat on, and they said, "And yeehaw, we're going to a dude ranch today."
Oh yeah, great.
Like one of these things where just like every incentive, they wanted you to incentivize everything. They would give you a company car account. Like they would have like some kind of Lyft account that you could use to get to your various stuff in the city. Like, let's put it this way: I don't think Mike Thomas is paying to get like hauled around. Like, it's paying out of pocket. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Lunch at Del Frisco's in the city. I don't think that's out of pocket expenses.
I understand.
I think sometimes as talent, we feel like we need to, like, we just don't want to go through the hassle of, asking the company to pay for stuff. And I understand it's not an easy process, but if the company goes, we want you at the convention center at 4:00 on a Thursday, you do a morning show, that's great, but you're going to have to pay for me to get there. It's my theory with all these things that often I get pushed back at. It's like, I didn't do it this time, but if like we have to be in, like, Hartford for a at 5:30 in the morning, well, they should pay for a hotel, and they should really, we shouldn't have to drive ourselves. They want us somewhere. We're not getting paid extra for it. Like, why do I have to do anything? Like,
I forgot. Did you drive down for the Travelers? You did.
I did.
Okay.
I ended up driving down for the Travelers, but the thing is that I mean, I didn't think I didn't mind doing it, and they weren't giving me a hassle. I just would have drove with Kelly, which would have been delightful, and she didn't care. I'm sure Kelly, in a way, probably would have wanted company, but I ended up not doing it. But I mean, that's just the way. Like when they were like broadcast from Mohegan, I drive with John because John didn't care. But I'd be like, why the hell do I have to drive to Mohegan Sun? So you're making me drive 2.5 hours to do a favor for you.
I remember that trip. We had Adolfo with us that day.
Oh yeah,
Adolfo in the back seat. Yep.
The best thing about Adolfo is that you could just be like, "Hey, we're drinking," and you just be like, "Yeah, all right."
he was drinking that day.
Yeah,
you say so.
Yeah, okay.
We stop at a Packy on the way down.
No problem. You got it. Oh, I'm here for it.
No problem, Adolfo. I'll stop in the middle of nowhere,
Doesn't
Connecticut.
matter if I was planning on drinking today. You say we're drinking.
That's right.
Right. As long as I don't have to have a wallet with me.
We literally stopped in the middle of nowhere on whatever it was, 395 South, because Adolfo couldn't wait an extra half hour.
Oh, really?
Oh, you don't remember that?
No.
Oh, no. We had some rustling in the back seat. Adolfo refused to rest, and there was conversation the entire time. It was Adolfo 95% of the time. And then he's like, anyone want a beer? I didn't bring any beer. Well, we could always stop.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, no problem, Adolfo. Let's go. And so we pulled off God knows where, and we found Packy, and Adolfo went in. He said, "Fred, you got any money?"
Yeah.
Fred's like, "Yep, no problem." I forget how much money he gave me. He came out with a 6-pack of something, and he had to be drinking that last half hour.
I remember when we went to Crash. Him and I went to Crash had a ski gig in like New Hampshire, and Crash and
Opry ski,
and Crash and Adolfo were like, like you hear about this liquor store at the border, like this liquor store. It's like the greatest liquor store of all time. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. And like I wasn't opposed to having the alcohol. That was great. But but then when, the problem with the liquor store is it added on another hour and a half, no joke, to like our trip. Because we weren't the only people pulling into this liquor store, and there was like all that traffic anyway. There was like this insane amount of traffic. And it was bad if I was like, guys, can we just not stop at this liquor store? Let's go like another like 20 miles and then stop at a liquor store.
Any liquor store.
Any liquor store. I'm all for getting liquor, believe me.
It's the same place at the border. It's ridiculous about 90% of the time.
And then you get in there and you're like, oh, wow, okay, wow, I'm saving like $3.
Yeah.
What am I doing
It's a
here?
big place, but it doesn't.
The idea of a liquor store as a destination is
right. It's like
problematic.
Anybody out there that is driving wherever there's a Buc-ee's, like this Buc-ee's that like Henry's really into it. People are like super into this Buc-ee's. My parents live in the vicinity of one that like they live like 45 minutes away, an hour away, by a water park that we've gone to that is the biggest one apparently in the country. So this is the best one. No one would go in there and go, "This is fun." Like no one would go in there and go like, "Wow, thank God we stopped at this Buc-ee's."
Yeah.
My kids didn't. My parents did it. And then out of obligation, because you went into it, you're buying $120 worth of Buc-ee's crap. Like I bought Kendra like a cup.
Yeah, she brings it in.
Because like we're there. I gotta you just feel this obligation to spend money there, and I didn't want anything from Buc-ee's. I got my daughter like a blanket, the thing for Ken. I don't. Yeah, all that stuff, not good. All right, we'll be back. The Boston Celtics played last evening, and we can have that for you. And there was a big trade in the NBA, sort of. A kind of a confusing trade, but nonetheless something that players wanted for a long time. A little confusing as to why, but we will have that all for you in just a moment. He's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Real quick, Ole Miss is playing. Ole Miss is playing Miami, correct?
Yes.
Because they're playing tonight.
Yes.
And Lane Kiffin, and this is all beyond Lane Kiffin's kind of control, I think, at this point. But there's Ole Miss coaches that are going to LSU with Lane Kiffin that won't be able to coach tonight.
That did coach last week.
Right.
Very odd.
And the interim coach of Ole Miss they got to give him that job, right?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
To get to the national semifinals after all that chaos,
right?
Oh hell yes.
I would think that you have to give the guy the job because he's also been handling this so well. So like he will not take shots at Lane Kiffin, and they have him doing these press conferences. And they're like, "Who's going to be around?" And he's like, "Well, we've known this all along." But every time you see it, there's a split screen of a picture of Dopey Lane Kiffin, like in an LSU hat. And it's just that this is not working out well for Lane Kiffin. Now, he might go to LSU and win, and that's all that really matters. But, like, none of this is – like, Ole Miss got that running back of theirs back, who's really, really good. He's coming back next year.
And everyone found out about this quarterback, Chambliss, who's been fantastic. I mean, that kid's going to be a good pro. That kid's going to be a very good pro.
Yeah, there's some question of his eligibility next year. I have heard that there is like a question of if he's going to be able to.
Is he on academic probation?
Yeah. There's a lot of that going on at Ole Miss and at LSU, as you can judge by the LSU Wonderlic scores that come out every so often.
Have you gone through this exercise, Hardy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the LSU, a lot of Wonderlic scores where you go, I don't know, I'm not positive that these are people that are literate.
Morris Claiborne's my favorite. A very good NFL defensive back. He got a 3.
I was going to say there were single-digit Wonderlic scores. Yeah,
and so it's not like Claiborne's an unintelligent person, because I truly don't believe that's true. Especially like if he succeeded in the NFL, like there's got to be some inherent, like he can't be like a total idiot. I really do believe that. Like he was a defensive back too, right?
Yes.
So there's got to be he's got to be able to figure some things out.
Yes. But as a guy who's taken the Wonderlic, do you remember that?
The Wonderlic's very, very, very easy.
But also for anyone who doesn't know what the Wonderlic is, I don't want you to think it's like, the SAT or something. It's not like you got 3 out of 1,600. He got 3 out of 50. So, it's still pretty good.
Sure. Right. And the thing is that either he did not try at all, like he just went in there and blew the thing off, or he's illiterate. Because there's no way that someone who's functioning in society would get like a 3 on the Wonderlic. You can take it yourself. No one that's listening to my voice that can read would get that. So my assumption is that he didn't try. Like he just went in there and like just put a bunch of random stuff down and handed it in and said, I don't want to do this. Because the only other option is that he would be illiterate, which I don't think is the case. But would it surprise you if LSU, had a kid there for 3 years playing football that couldn't read?
No.
There was that guy on the Redskins at the time. Remember that he was illiterate, like that he couldn't read. He was a defensive player for the Redskins. Mobley.
I don't remember.
It's like a fairly well-known story.
Dexter Manley.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah,
All
Dexter Manley was. It turned out that he was illiterate. He had got, and I believe that might be a Florida State situation, but that Florida State had just kept a kid that couldn't read at a institution for higher learning, and not like a dyslexia problem, like never been taught to read.
But that kid Chambliss has been a revelation during the Ole Miss should win tonight, I think. Go to the national championship with all that chaos. They got to give that.
It would be fun. Yeah, it's made it more compelling. Where you watch these games at this time of year if you have any interest at all. But the Ole Miss inclusion, that makes it that much more interesting.
Well, if Oregon loses on Friday night, you know that Dante Moore is going to say, like, do I go into the draft and get drafted by the Jets, or do I go back and take one more shot at it? And you know he's going to pull the Peyton Manning and go, I want one more shot, which leaves Ty Simpson available at the second pick. If you're looking for a quarterback.
Just declared yesterday. Good for you. Good for the Jets.
My Oregon future right now is worth twice the original wager. Do I sell?
Oregon's
for them to
only-
win the national championship?
Yeah.
Their only loss was to Indiana this year. So, and they lost at home.
But Indiana's got to beat them twice in the same season.
I know.
Neutral field.
I love Dan Lanning, too, the head coach. I think he's great. So.
Oh, you do? You like him? See, I don't like either of those coaches.
I
that much.
like Dan Lanning.
He's very intense.
Yes. I remember him when he coached against Dion that first year. Dion's team had won a couple of games, and then they went to Oregon, and they were standing on the logo before the game, and I think Lanning went in the locker room and said, we're playing for wins, they're playing for clicks, let's go out and beat their ass, and they won like 42-6. It was great. No, Oregon, I would pick Oregon to win this game tomorrow night. But what do I know? I suck at betting.
Well, I'm not
you
selling
suck.
it.
Not as bad as I do, believe me. I don't think you could do as like you would think that just if you picked randomly, you'd hit 45% of your bets.
Yeah.
I mean,
against the spread, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm sitting at about like 5% success rate this football season.
Indiana, 3.5-point favorite.
I even lost the Michigan State game this year, which is.
Did you live bet them?
I live bet it. I doubled down live bet against Nebraska. I saw how that thing was unfolding. I said, Michigan State's hanging around. They're going to beat Nebraska. You know, and no, the kid Cook had 2 free throws to tie the thing in regulation.
I'm sorry you lost money, and I always want Michigan State to win, but let Nebraska have a win. They have nothing.
Well, they charged the court, and the kids after the game had to say, "Can you stop charging the court? Like we're a ranked team, and we beat a team three spots higher than us.
Very low rent."
Yeah, well, that's what the kids said. They're like, there should be this assumption that we're going to beat teams that are in our conference this year.
Right.
All right, go ahead, Hardy.
Last night, the Celtics were taking, without Jason Tatum, of course, were at home taking on the Denver Nuggets without Nikola Jokic. This was a back-and-forth affair. 26 lead changes throughout the game. The game was tied 9 separate times throughout. But at one point, late, Celtics did make a run. Adam 12.
Starts his drive on Watson. Gets in deep. There's the pump fake and the easy 2 off the window. Celtics have scored 12 straight. Timeout, David Adelman.
All right, we're not going to wait for Max to say anything. So instead, I'll just tell you the Celtics maintain their lead. And with Simons here.
Derek White for Sam Hauser. Return to Derek White. Deep 3 over Aaron Gordon. No good. Simons chases the offensive rebound. He's got it. Drives, reverses it up and in. Anthony Simons continues his spectacular run.
Fantastic shot. Great shot by Simons. Made it 90-87, about 7 minutes left. What do you think happened then, Fred? 90-87, back and forth all night. Celtics were up 12 at one point, but really this is a very evenly matched game. 7 minutes left. Celtics up 3. What do you think happened?
Well, I know the Celtics lost the game.
The Nuggets went on a 14-0 run.
Yep.
Nothing falling.
Celtics could not get out of their own way.
Jaylen Brown turning the ball over, passing the ball out of bounds. It was not good.
You got to blame Forsberg.
Switches to the left hand. Ball fake. Kick to the corner. Watson open 3. Good night. Whew. An extraordinary fourth quarter here by the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, that made it 106-93. Reminding you, it was 90-87. So that little run right there. That feels like a 19-3 run. Yeah.
Sounds about right, yes.
Yeah. So Celtics would go on to lose last night. Oh, they made it interesting at the end. No, they didn't. It was 114-110.
It was like, let's make sure we foul this guy and see if the other team misses foul shots, and Denver missed just enough to make it somewhat interesting.
It was not. It really wasn't. And Jaylen Brown says it wasn't his fault.
Every time I get the ball, I'm looking to be aggressive. If I feel contact, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go strong. But tonight, I just was getting blank faces when I was asking officials, and they're like, they just decided. It's been the last 10 games. It's been free throws. Today, it wasn't. So it is what it is.
That's why they lost.
No, didn't get any calls. It's like, hey, I would go in really hard, and in the NBA, if you go into the paint, you draw a foul every time, right? And
usually,
I'd looking at him, and they were just staring back at me.
Not the reason they lost, but he's right. Not the reason they lost, but he wasn't getting any calls in this game. That's true.
Well, it didn't help that he missed back-to-back free throws early in the game either.
It's true.
I mean, that's tough to do.
Celtics only had 15 free throws total for the game.
Well, it doesn't matter. I think they started 1 for 6 from the line as
correct.
a team.
Yes.
So who cares?
No,
they weren't making them. Why give them to them?
Made 8 of their last 9.
That's why he wasn't getting the calls. It's like, hey, we give you these free throws, and then you miss them, so now you're not getting them.
Yep.
Well, you heard Forsberg. He was all like puffing his chest out about how great the Celtics were yesterday, and then we got this email. It said, I was just listening to Joe Murray while prepping dinner, as one does. Then the Celtics pregame started. I never listened to the Celtics, but as my hands were covered with raw chicken juice, I didn't want to touch my earbuds to stop it. Grandy started off by whining about everyone writing the Celtics off this year. WTF is he talking about? Again, Grandy has this need to, like, me against the world. Like, I'm a Celtic. It's like he's motivating the team. It's very odd. That you have to admit, Jonathan, that's odd. Cedric doesn't like it. Then he proceeded to talk down to Cedric Maxwell and complain that he was changing the subject. He was right to change the subject.
Oh, boy.
He then spent several minutes verbally filleting Joe Mazzulla, a bunch of no-name Celtics bench players, and himself, who he claimed was the only person on the planet who thought the Celtics would win a single game this year. There is, I don't get that. I don't understand that. It's just, I understand that you're the home announcer and that, you're broadcasting to the team's home base and the team's fan base, and that you call the game like you want the team to win. I understand that, and I think there's a value in that. It makes you different than the national broadcasters.
Put my board up.
Who are supposed to be indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. Yeah, it's like this. Like, I'm on the team and no one believes in us, and I'm the only one who believes. Like, okay, it's every year it's the same thing. Like, even if they win the championship, it's the same thing. No one thought they could do this. Everyone thought that. What are you talking about? Who cares?
Look around and find out.
It's just, you know what it is? It seems like he's like, everyone like love me. Like, you.
Thank you.
Like, love me. And
I love you. And I think you know that.
I don't get that instinct, that instinct to like just pander to like, for people to really like you. Like,
everybody wants to be loved, Fred.
Like,
everybody.
Yeah, but there's ways to go about it, I think, that aren't as obvious.
That guy in the morning show
is pandering and obvious, and it doesn't seem to work, is the thing.
and the clowns on morning shows.
Yeah, I know. I would say the same thing about me if I was him, but I don't take any offense to that. I don't get the whole, no one believes in him. No one. Okay. So what? Call the game. I can't watch it, so you got to explain what's going on. I don't care what you think. And that's what Cedric does.
That's how that exchange went.
I love you, and I think you know that.
You know what? I thought of you when I called the game. I called the game against Utah over the break. Max showed up with honey hot chicken and a 7-layer chocolate cake.
God, he loves dessert.
A piece, not the whole cake, but a piece of the 7-layer chocolate.
It's not even the honey hot chicken. It's just that he loves desserts. He just loves sweets so much.
He's like, you want a piece? I'm like, no, I'm good. But that's beautiful.
He's like a little kid. He just like loves dessert.
You would have loved it. I should have taken a picture. It was great.
He goes out of his way when he does the show once a week for me to he antagonizes me to antagonize Grandy.
Oh yeah. He brings up his broadcast partner just to get you to say something about it.
Yeah,
sure.
And then he sits there delighted. He just wants me to say something because I won't. I mean, I don't talk about Grandy every time he's on. That Cedric's on, and if I don't talk about him, Cedric always wants no. Every time Cedric asks me to bring up Grandy, it's absolutely true. We have videos of him doing it that are up on Instagram. He'll ask me at the end of the interview, like he does it. It's like Crash needed me to say bye. Cedric needs me to say something about Grandy. That's exactly how it's happened. I've deliberately not said anything about Grandy because I know Cedric's going to make me say something or going to ask me to say something. That is a fact. You could go back and check the last 4 interviews with Cedric. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are back out of practice yesterday. They got a home playoff game coming up Sunday night against the Chargers. Garrett Bradbury, Morgan Moses, Anthony Jennings, and Vidarian Lowe all set out with an illness. Karis Tonga has a foot injury. In college football news, it'll be Miami against Ole Miss tonight in one national semifinal at the Fiesta Bowl. Celtics had their 4-game winning streak snapped last night. Carve a 114-110 home loss to Denver. Jaylen Brown, 33 points for the Green. They continue their homestand tomorrow night against Toronto. The Atlanta Hawks traded top guard Trae Young to the Washington Wizards, and the Bruins play Calgary at TD Garden tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Sports Etc. in Arlington. Get a new hockey stick. You want a new hockey stick? Try before you buy in their stick cellar with over 1,000 sticks to choose from, including the latest sticks from Bauer, like the Proto 2, Pulse, and Flylight. Sports Etc., Boston's best hockey shop, 1303 Mass Ave in Arlington, online at sportsetcetera.net. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy, and Ryan found that clip we got emailed about Sean Grandy. I've not heard it, so I don't think any of us have, except for Ryan. Let's hear what Grandy had to say.
The Celtics not only defend, but play together as a team, and as a result, very quietly, I've heard everybody talk about Jaylen Brown as an MVP, first-team All-NBA candidate. I've heard everybody jump on the Joe Mazzulla bandwagon as Coach of the Year. All those are rightly deserved. How come I'm the only one that seems to be saying that Anthony Simons right now is at the top of the list in those list of guys for sixth man right now?
Because no one cares. No one in January is trying to predict who the sixth man of the year is. How about that?
That would be huge. Celtics win back-to-back Sixth Man of the Year awards.
I didn't hear Felger and Maz yesterday. They do 4 hours on who's Sixth Man of the Year in the NBA. That wasn't a pressing enough issue?
I didn't hear that part of the show yesterday. Hasn't there been a significant amount of conversation about how close the Celtics were now in the East and in terms of their record and how well they've been playing? But
yes,
he grants you that. He grants you that people are saying that Jaylen Brown is an MVP candidate. He grants you that people are, because Coach of the Year in NBA is the best thing to win. Because it assures you won't have a job in a year.
Yeah, but he goes on more about the stats here.
Meanwhile, the Celtics have won 4 in a row. They have won 8 of 9. They have the third best statistical profile right now in the NBA. Number 3 net rating, number 3 in scoring margin. Over the last 7 weeks now, the Celtics have, wait for it, the best record in the NBA with an historic offense.
All those things are true.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is he upset that people are focused on the Patriots? I don't understand what being upset is. What he's upset. See, if you just went, wow, can you believe it? The Celtics are really good, and who thought this guy was going to be a Sixth Man of the Year candidate? That's a topic of conversation. You're covering the Celtics. I don't know why it has to be worded as, why am I the only one that's talking about? Because you're the only one who cares. Because everyone else has to make a living. And they have to appeal to an audience. What do you want people to do? I forget it. I know he doesn't want anyone to do it. I just don't understand why he has to frame things like, I'm the one. I'm like the really smart guy that can see through the crap. Just call the game. You call what's happening because people can't watch it with eyes.
Maybe that was during the pregame show. Pregame show's 40 minutes. He's got some time to kill. There's things to discuss surrounding the team before the game.
Yeah, he's gonna talk about something.
There's stuff. There's a lot of stuff to get into.
There's stuff with the Patriots too, where we talked.
I'm the only one who thought the Patriots were going to win 14 games.
Yeah, you are. You are.
I'm the only one.
You're the only one that said, "Look out for that flu bug." Not the so-called Foxborough flu, but the real flu.
We got some guys sick today. Morgan will be in one of that group of guys that are sick. He won't be getting the physical reps.
Mike, who else is sick?
Bradbury, Anthony Jennings, Verdarian Lowe.
Yeah.
4 guys.
But people were talking about Ramondre Stevenson this week, and Mike Vrabel was happy about that.
Always excited for our players and sound like a broken record, but I think he continued to do the things that we needed him to do to help us win, and in turn was rewarded for it with touchdowns, rushing yards, with big catch there, but also he protected the quarterback. So I'm excited and happy for him, recognized him, and then we moved on.
What do you get, John?
Player of the week.
Offensive
Player of the week.
A lot of people were saying when he was fumbling that much that he should be cut. I was the one who was saying that, I could see that Ramondre Stevenson was going to become, a player of the week candidate later in the season. I don't know if you recall that.
Sure. Well, I think you said week 17. I don't think you said week 18.
But
you meant
not
the 17th game, so all right, you'll get credit for it.
No, but now you're just taking shots for no reason. I said later in the season, watch, he'll be AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I said that. Remember when I said that? All you and everyone else out there with all these talking heads were like, oh, no. And I'm like, oh, no, you watch. Yeah, he'll get there.
Yeah.
Does that make you like me?
Meanwhile, Drake May apparently not in the business of being liked by his wide receivers all the time.
Becoming harder on him comes with learning them and them respecting our relationship.
Oh, Drake, don't do that.
together. I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned is get to know them and have some success with them, have some failure with them, and learn, hey, what do you like here? Or, hey, how'd you feel like I threw this ball to you? And these guys have responded to me great all year. They want the ball. Obviously every receiver does, but they take criticism well, and they don't take it personally, and they just want to help the team.
There's a video of Stafford in the this is just a kind of but what quarterbacks have to deal with. There's a video that I suggest everyone watch. It's not good for the radio because you need the visual of it. But Stafford's in the huddle and he's calling the play. It's a timeout, and he's calling a play, and he goes, "Oh my God, he won't shut up." And he's just like, "I get it." And he's going to the sidelines. He's like, "Stop talking," and McVay won't stop talking, and he's like, "Stop it, stop it." And he's like. And he's, Jesus effing, stop it. Yeah. And he's like, all right, you just don't understand what he's saying. And one of the, I guess I would take it a running back, was like, what am I doing? He's like, just, you do this. And he's like, telling him what he's got to do. And he's like, I can't. He's trying to have a conversation with the guy, and McVay won't stop talking in his ear. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And you can kind of hear McVay. It sounds like gobbledygook because it's like so involved. He's like, it's all this super long verbiage that you don't know if you're not on the team.
McVay is like the same age as Stafford, I think.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like Stafford's Stafford isn't like like going Grr! But he's like, oh my God, like he's just so like, oh my God, shut up.
Yeah.
Just like, can you shut up?
That seems to be 100% on brand. Like,
so
McVay just won't stop talking.
It's just when like you think of like all the stuff the quarterback has to go through, and then you add on top of that, these receivers are pissed they're not getting the ball. And so you're like, got a coach in your ear, you got, crowd noise, you got all the pressure.
Receivers begging for the ball.
And then you got a receiver pouting in the huddle, and you're like, oh my God, dude, like I got enough going on. And finally for this hour, Daniel, hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Wallach, next game you call, can you just do the pregame full Randy style and just say that you're on the team, say that I want you full role playing. Oh my God, nobody thought we would win this year. You don't know what you're talking about. Please just role play, go full Randy. No one's listening. No one's going to be mad at you.
Oh, that's not
People
true.
listen to the games. But what would be funny is if you said, I work for this real stupid, arrogant dick. I work with this real stupid, arrogant dick. And he has been saying all year that this Celtics team is terrible. And I've been telling him.
Okay.
And then there's all these stats that this station I work for, real fools. If you listen throughout the day, they're always saying this stuff. No one's talking about the Celtics.
Morning shows.
No one's got news for you. The only time we're talking about the Celtics, Sean, is when we have your partner on. So blame him for any narratives that come up. John watches as much as the games as you do. I defer to John. Believe me, I got no opinions. That's what I don't understand, is that he's even like this when no one has an opinion. Do you have any opinions on the Celtics, Hardy, necessarily right now that you feel passionately about?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. So John watches all the games. John has the opinions. Everyone's saying, well, not here. No one's saying anything. I got nothing to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, we'll be back with Live Free or Buy.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Patriots, Bruins, the Celtics, WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are without 5 players at their first practice of the week yesterday as they get ready to host the LA Chargers in a playoff game in Foxborough on Sunday. Garrett Bradbury, Anthony Jennings, Verdarian Lowe, Morgan Moses, and Karis Tonga all sat out. The first 4 are apparently sick. Omari and Hampton missed Chargers practice with a sore ankle. Ramondre Stevenson yesterday voted the AFC's Offensive Player of the Week. In college football news, the national semifinals begin tonight in Arizona. Miami will play Mississippi in the Fiesta Bowl. Celtics beaten by Denver last night, 114-110 at TD Garden, ending a 4-game winning streak. Joe Mazzulla saw the visitors score 14 straight points to take the lead for good in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, obviously we had some empty possessions on offense, and they did a good job, versus our aggressive pick-and-roll coverages, finding the 2-on-1, and whether it was knocking down the threes or hitting the roll man. So they did a good job executing, on the offensive end.
Jaylen Brown scored 33 points for the Green in the loss. The Celtics host Toronto tomorrow night. The Atlanta Hawks yesterday traded top guard Trae Young to the Washington Wizards for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. And the Bruins play Calgary at TD Garden tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Service Credit Union. They're teaming with Charlie McAvoy for 73 reasons to provide funding and health screens for first responders. Learn more at servicecu.org/73. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Onto the Pasternak, and he scores! What a blast by Pasternak!
The Bruins play here.
And we're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Rise and shine, yet another day to toss away. What does my clock display? It says 8.
All right, we are Toucher and Hardy, and you can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Hardy, what is going on with your life? You seem to be in the weeds here with many bargains.
I just love to be in touch with what's going on in my community, and one of the best ways to stay in touch is through many apps, whether it's Facebook Marketplace or my particular favorite, Nextdoor, which will list things for sale or for free in something we like to call...
Oh, well, who's giving away crap in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood. In your neighborhood, or who's trying to sell crap in your neighborhood? It's time for Live Free or Buy.
Live Free or Buy. I will share with you items I have seen recently on Nextdoor, and you have to determine whether or not someone is trying to sell this particular item or whether they're just giving it away for free.
Okay, so this is Nextdoor, not Facebook Marketplace.
Correct.
Okay, why are you on Nextdoor? I know why you're on it.
Well,
but Nextdoor is something that I've been warned, and I agree with. I should not be on. Like, it just seems like a place where you're just going to hate your neighbors because people are complaining about things that you would never. Well, Hardy likes to have his finger in things. Like he
likes to know what's going on in all the houses around him. If he can't see him when he stares out the window, he wants to know what's going on behind.
Don't you
doors.
ever wonder when you see a police or emergency vehicles? Oh, I wonder what's going on. Well, the Nextdoor app will tell you. Somebody will post. Oh, are those coyotes that I hear? Yeah, someone on Nextdoor is also saying the same thing and telling you where they are. And yeah, there's good information on there.
Once I'm home, I'm fairly indifferent to my surroundings.
I don't understand you at all.
I'm saving things to complain about on the air. But when I'm at home...
That's when I really get engaged. That's when I plug in.
Okay.
This is my downtime.
Because I'll also know people are complaining about me.
What's wrong with you? Jesus, Artie.
Look at this. This guy found an online Zinn supplier. He's living the high
Makes everybody happy. I understand.
You're reaping the benefits yourself, sir.
I am. I plan to continue that today. I'm owed.
Well, this first one, Fred, speaks directly to you and something that happened in your life. I saw this listing on Nextdoor. Baseball bag. Now, this is also someone in a neighborhood adjacent to yours, not your part of Newton, the nice part of Newton. This is in Waban.
Oh, no, Waban's very nice.
Waban's very nice.
Waban's nicer than my area, right?
That's damn right it is.
I don't know. I can't remember this.
Where did you guys put up the fence? Where does the nice area stop?
Well, I mean, there's over 90.
Okay.
It gets a little less.
Once you get across the pike, then
I don't even know if you're allowed in Waban.
Okay.
But what Hardy's referring to is my ex-wife during her purge took a bunch of my son's old bat bags and assured us that nothing was in them. She had them up, and now she realizes that this was a fool's errand. She was selling them for like $5. I don't know why she took the time or just didn't throw them away. They were used youth bat bags, and my son said, "You're sure there's nothing in them?" And she was like, "Yeah." She had them laying out for a long time because no one wanted them. And then Milo opened them up, and indeed there was lots of things in the bat bags that she hadn't even gone through the bat bags.
Bats,
gloves, stuff you might want to use.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't stuff that you wanted to use, there was stuff in them.
Yeah,
like you never even opened up the bat bag to look and see if there was anything in them. She went through this, and I don't blame her, but she went through this like where she wanted to get rid of everything, like just get rid of everything. There's an episode of Family Guy where Lois does the same thing, and it just ends up with it's just her in a white, completely devoid of any other colors on the screen. It's just her in this white, like kind of abyss. And my ex-wife definitely went through that period of time where she just wanted everything out, and now I think she looks back on that and goes, "Oh, I was going through something a little bit."
Yeah, there's some stuff that I would actually like to have now.
Or maybe this was completely unnecessary because there's plenty of room in this house, and I don't know why I needed to get rid of all this stuff.
Well, somebody does not have room for an Eastern bat bag anymore. There are small tears on the bottom, but is this free or is this for sale?
It is for sale.
I agree. Oh, boy, I was going to be wrong.
Oh, well, there's competition in the neighborhood.
Wow.
There's some competition in the neighborhood.
So I found something for Fred right off the bat, and I found something for John.
Just real quick, why are these things not thrown away or put in some kind of just donation pile? Because I've done, if I may, I've done that cradles to crayons. I've volunteered over there, and if you donate something with tears in it, they throw it away. Like they don't give people clothes or items that got tears in them. So like a charity wouldn't want that.
But how big is the tear? I mean, if you're going to throw something out, maybe
you've done cradles to crayons. They don't want anything with tears in it. They tell you to throw it away. No. Like they damaged clothes, they don't want. Like they don't want damaged equipment or things like that.
There are standards there, but what I'm saying is getting back to the baseball bat bag that has tears.
Very
in them.
small tears.
Okay. So if I'm going to throw this thing out anyway, maybe I can get a cup of coffee out of it. $5.
No, it's
free. No, it's free. We've already done that.
No, what I'm saying is that's the thought process.
No, I understand, but why? But they're not asking for money. They're asking for you to take it. Just I don't understand why you just don't put it in the trash.
Because somebody who doesn't have a lot of money might actually appreciate that and use it.
Okay, so here we go.
You're making one life breathe easier.
But I've just you see what you did is you just ignored my last thing. Having worked for a charity, done volunteer work for a charity that specializes in this very thing, taking secondhand garments and reappropriating them to families in need, they obviously know that people don't want to show up and go, "Hey kids, guess what? I got you a big junky thing with tears in it." They want it to be like new.
They have some standards at places like that. Yes, of course they do. But there are other people who don't care, who would probably wish for cradles to crayons to include some things with small tears in them. There are some people who are so destitute, Fred, that they would take anything. And that's what this wonderful woman in Waban is doing.
That is true. Cradles to Crayons does specialize in the upper crust of people that need used clothing.
You know, my daughter, for one of her birthday parties, it was probably like 6th grade or something like that. They had it at Cradles to Crayons, where her and her friends like put together like backpacks for kids. That was
your daughter did that.
Wow,
my daughter did.
That was great.
Insufferable. You know why I did Cradles to Crayons?
And I will say this: I don't think it was her idea. I believe it was Mommy's idea. But her and her friends had a nice time.
It's not bad doing, but you know why I did Cradles to Crayons? I would like to think
community service.
Yeah. It was I've been pulled over. No, it was my son needed to do community service for his school. Like, it was part of the agreement with the school. You have to do a certain amount of community service.
Yep.
And my understanding was that if the kid wasn't 18, that they had to have an adult with them. So he needed these hours of community service. So I had to go to Cradles and Crayons with him and do the community service with him.
Nice.
So, yeah. So the school basically said, oh, by the way, you have to do it too, is the way that it worked for me.
So I found something that spoke to you, Fred, and now I have something that will speak to you, John.
Okay.
High Rock Junction, which apparently is...
That's right. Why to give me that? You want to get high on rock? The junction's in my pants. Come find the rock. I hit it onto something.
Wherever High Rock Junction is, there is a magic wand available.
Magic.
Oh.
Come over here and get your magic wand.
Classic black and white magic wand.
Oh, it's just top end.
This
Come over here and smell it.
Only the best.
Yeah.
I stand before you, John Wallach, magician.
Yeah.
This was listed on December 23rd, so this thing ain't moving, which should give you some indication as to whether or not it is free or for sale.
That's for sale. That's for sale. Yeah.
Now, how much are they asking for the magic wand?
I'll say $5.
I'm asking you to come close to it. Come take a whiff.
$3.
Now, does it describe how it's magic?
No, it's classic black and white magic wand, $3.
Now, do flowers appear from it?
Nothing. There's only one photo, and it's somewhat off center.
Well, I want to know why it's magic. Dwight Schrute is interested in this in some way, shape, or form. What if you got it and it was really magic?
Oh, now that sounds like the preamble to a wonderful fantasy film.
Yeah, like there was
like
just
big.
Like, you go over there and there's some like old like wise woman and she's like, "Are you ready for the responsibility of the magic wand?"
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Yeah. How about this, Fred? You do some. You've had some plumbing issues in your home recently.
Okay.
Can I interest you in a Corky Universal toilet flapper and another similar flapper porch pickup?
Yeah.
So you're not gonna
camera installed?
You're not gonna go inside the person's home. You have to pick this up on the porch. They include diagrams as to where it goes in the toilet, and
instructions to hook it up to Wi-Fi.
5 different photos of the Corky Universal toilet flapper.
5 photos of the flapper?
5 flapper photos.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to pick it up in an alley, and then you do have to hook it up to Wi-Fi. Don't ask questions as to why. There will be a live cam on it, but nonetheless.
It is the Chuck Berry signature series Corky Universal toilet flapper.
Yes. Now, look, it comes in a box that weighs 200 pounds, and it's about 5'11" in length. You don't have
Most of these you don't have to plug in, but this one requires an AC outlet.
Well, this one just requires like a pillow and a nook. Well, no, they wouldn't be charging for that. They don't even want to see you.
That is correct. That is for free. Here's something that we used to see commercials for all the time: the Civil War chess set by the Franklin Mint.
They want money automatically. Yes, and it's
now it needs restoration and is missing a cannonball piece.
Do not restore it. It's like a coin. If you hear these stories of people will find this coin that's worth $100,000 and they'll clean it and therefore rendering it worthless. You guys are aware of that. You've seen this, right?
I have.
That when you see it all the time on when they had that pawn show on, people would mistakenly clean the coin and it makes
touch it
for whatever reason in that community they don't want the coin cleaned.
The big one is if you have the shipwreck coins. and they're all like,
like barnacles and
stuck
stuff.
together and stuff. Don't separate them. Don't clean them. That's part of the value. But this, as I said, does have a missing cannonball piece. 31 pewter portrait sculptures. I think there's 32 pieces in the chess set.
So what's
they're right up
cannonballs?
around.
Is it like the knight? Is it the bishop?
They tell you the single pieces are easy to find on eBay for about $15 each.
Oh, yeah, that's a big heads up, too. Is that I would imagine maybe the cannonballs are pawns.
I believe they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm told the commercial. I'm looking at it now, and I believe it is.
That's what I'm guessing. But I'm also guessing that if you buy from the Franklin Mint, this is not just, you're not buying it just to look at. You're buying this as partially an investment, that these things go up in value.
Mm-hmm.
One would hope.
I mean, the Diana plates, Princess Diana.
But I'll tell you right now, these go for over $400 everywhere online. So I think blank is fair given the condition.
$125.
$200.
John Wallach, $200 on the nose. Head on over to North Weymouth, and it can be yours.
Okay.
Yeah. You buy something from the Franklin Mint. I mean, you're buying it from a mint. And I mean, you
Denver
fools,
Mint, Franklin Mint, they're all the same.
Look, you fools have 401ks. Gary will buy, Gary Tangwell will buy kitchen appliances with that money in order to invest in. And some of us know to invest in something tactile, something tangible. And that is what the Franklin Mint is for.
North Weymouth's in a tough spot. You really got to want this thing to go get it. I mean, this is like
for $200. I might go
I'm
get
just
it.
saying.
Where's Weymouth?
Route 393, that area south of Boston. That's very tough to get to.
Let's go back to the bathroom for this final one. We already had the Corky Universal toilet flapper.
Corky from Life Goes On's universal toilet flapper. Well, no, I just said. What if it was Corky from Life Goes On's? I'm sure he did endorsements for things, but wouldn't that be funny if it was like Corky from Life Goes On's?
Do you think he endorsed anything?
I'm sure you're on the internet.
Sure.
I'm sure you've seen the Life Goes On where he does Fight the Power.
Oh yes, I have.
You have seen when Corky from Life Goes On does Fight the Power, and the idea is that like, wow, Corky is really he's slipped into the underground. But it's just seems foolish and cruel in retrospect. But go ahead.
A little bit. So this is these are two signs. One of them is for the bathroom.
Okay.
The first one says, "I drink coffee for your protection." You don't want me before I've had my first cup of coffee. Dangerous. But there's a second sign. This is in Hanover. Flush. Don't forget to flush. Always put the seat back down. So it's not the classic bathroom sign, if you sprinkle when you tinkle, be a sweetie and wipe the seaty. That's the classic.
I see.
This one is just flush.
Yeah, this is just instruction.
Don't forget to flush and always put the seat back down. Once again, in Hanover, heading back toward the South Shore. For these two signs, how much or are they free?
Well, I sold my "If it's yellow, it's mellow" sign for $26.50.
If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
Yeah, mine just said if it's yellow, it's mellow.
Okay.
Because I felt the brown thing. I didn't want anyone to flush that.
But I like them partnering these two signs together because you drink a cup of coffee, that gets things moving.
Sure,
you might have to go.
Well, I mean, a lot of things that you drink can have you pee eventually.
But the coffee is, come on, you're not a coffee drinker, but yeah, it makes you go always.
But it's funny because a lot of things that I'll swallow liquid form will come out as urine. Not everything, but some.
Fred, make your guess and stop stalling.
Oh, you put me on the spot. $9.75. $9.75. $975.
I'll say free. Giving it away.
John Wallach killing it. Absolutely killing it. Well done.
But yet that magic stick still is out there.
$3.
Top end.
Free.
Was it John?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'll find it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you got to go to North Weymouth for the chess set.
Yeah,
I know
Nick
that.
hasn't had to get street audio since like the last time the Celtics were in the finals. I mean, he's been coasting here for a while. I wouldn't mind finding out what's going on with this magic wand fella. He's going to hope I forget about it, but we'll see. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Hardy likes to have his finger in things.
Toucher and Hardy will be right back.
Toucher and Hardy. So the next time we do Live Free and Buy, I think it would be a good idea to have Nick have gone out to these places and just to hear him try to negotiate the prices of these items down. And maybe we'll do it again next month, so he'll have a month to go find places. But I said he's going to balk at this. Hardy and I were talking about it, and I said, he's going to balk at this because he hasn't had to get street audio in so long. It's going to, once people settle into not having to do something, it's like coming into work. When people got to work at home for COVID for like 2 years, like the idea of going back into work was preposterous. Just like a cruel thumb of the man coming down on the common person. And we were coming into work for all your lives, everyone's lives, for the history of civilization. But now because there was like 2 years of not doing it, it's ridiculous that you would ever come back in. And that's just the way it is. Like once you've set a precedent of not having to do something, very difficult to get someone to do it again. But Hardy, you had an idea. By the way, this magic wand ain't far away.
No, it's
very
close. It's very close.
But you had an idea to kind of get him motivated.
Well, we choose items that we think would be good, that he would be able to go and negotiate a little bit. But we also cross-reference the nearest bar. And that way he can go in and have himself a couple of cocktails during the day, do a little day drinking, and maybe loosen him up a little bit before he goes over there and begins the negotiation.
Because right now he's buying sneakers.
He's at this. I looked over there a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
He's doing some online shoe shopping.
Yeah.
With your drinking at noon on Mondays.
Right, because Nick's got a lot of pressure on him here during the day because he's got to ignore the phone and then buy shoes.
Oh, no, he just got...
Yeah, well, he clicked out of it very suavely. Got out of that. Now it's almost like he was never looking at the shoe.
Now he's got some random spreadsheet up in front of him.
Yeah, now he's working hard. It's funny, too, because anything they change for Nick, like with the podcast or something, it's this like DEFCON 5, and you just listen to him talk about it, and you're like, you don't have to do anything during the show. What's going on? Run the YouTube. Not a lot of pressure there. All right, so Nick should today, or most likely today, go out and find out about this magic wand. Even if we never play it on the air, I just want to know what's going on with the guy in the magic wand.
I sent him the link.
I mean, it's within 7 miles of here. It's a little ridiculous if that can't happen. We all have children. I did the show with 2 children, but the entire time the show's been on the air, I've had the entire time they've been alive, I've been doing a radio
If you
show.
left right now from where we are, it appears it would take you 9 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
That's something that's something that can be done today.
Okay.
There's no question. All right, so Peacock is the NBC streaming service that no one wants.
Yes.
It's very bad. My favorite season of Saturday Night Live is the one season they have truncated episodes of, to my knowledge.
Which is your favorite season?
The Martin Short season.
Oh, the one season with Billy Crystal and Martin Short.
Yeah, okay. Billy Crystal had been on it before, but there's a season with Harry Shearer, Christopher Guest, Martin Short, and Billy Crystal, which I feel is the best season of Saturday Night Live. Now, it also was when I was 10, but even looking back, I think that's the funniest.
That was Ed Grimley and synchronized swimming and
yes,
okay,
in the $10,000 jackpot wad, Jackie
right.
Rogers Jr.
Right.
When Billy Crystal could put on the blackface and do Sammy Davis Jr.
Right.
It was and then you had Christopher Guest playing the gay guy in that. It was very funny. What is it? What is the thing that Christopher Guest says? I'll think of it. But there's a very famous thing that he just gets: chocolate babies.
Oh yeah,
he just like knows it off the top of his head.
Yeah, it was Sammy Davis Jr. and Billy Crystal. He's like, these things are little, they're sweet. You put them in your mouth, chocolate babies.
Yeah, he knows that. That he knows. All right, so Peacock, you have it already, but they are going to be having when they have sports on. They're going to have Dolby products, new Dolby. Now, you understand Dolby. They blinded you with science at one point.
I think it should be doubly. There's another Christopher Guest line.
There you have it. The products and their platforms enhancing the sights and sounds of the game. So they are trying to give you any reason to justify having to buy a service to watch live sports. And what they're saying is now, this sounds a lot like when in the 50s when they would have like smells in the theater. They were trying anything to get people to go to bad movies.
Well, when the TV came around, they're like, oh, people aren't going to go to the movies anymore. What are we going to do to get them back into the movie theaters? And
Yeah, these are like cheap stunts that aren't going to work. Again, people are in charge of these networks, and they're making these expensive things that just aren't going to work. They do it constantly. They're either way too late on hiring people, or they just are clueless.
Well, you say it's not going to work, Fred, but lest you forget, as a very, very young man, you were tuned in to the December 20th, 1980 New York Jets Miami Dolphins game.
No, I don't think I watched that game. I was 5, but I am aware of what game it was. It's a famous game that was a failure where the network didn't have announcers on.
Why would this be a failure?
First down, Miami. A gain of 11 yards. First down, Miami. Mel on the tackle.
For 3 hours. That's what you got. A PA voice in the background, crowd noise, whistles. That's it.
Yeah, they tried it and it didn't work. It's a famous thing that didn't work. It's like the Jets were also involved in that Heidi game where that's why they don't stop games before they're over, is because of that Heidi game.
Sunday night.
It was a Sunday afternoon game going into Sunday night, and the network pulled out of an Oakland Jets game, an Oakland Raiders New York Jets game, and to go to the movie Heidi, and the Oakland Raiders came back and won that game.
Now,
but Hardy, if I could, I guess you might be right. It could work because it's easily explainable. I'll read you the quote from the network to the people. If you're wondering what this entails. With AC-4 and the personalization of the audio, we can let customers do what they prefer with a very simple control in our own UI.
Yeah.
And maybe let them turn off commentary completely if that's what they want. So it's as simple as the AC-4 in the UI.
Yes.
Which, as a consumer...
User interface.
Boom. So as a consumer, even if you put it that way, user interface... Maybe. I'll go to my 83-year-old father. Not only do you have to figure out how to get Peacock on, by the way, the AC-4 and the UI are going to be all there for you to control. I mean, because that's what everyone wants is the AC-4 and the UI. Don't they even know when they're doing this and they're saying it out loud? Maybe when they see it in writing, they'll go, oh, this doesn't make any sense.
It's AC Green's great-grandchild.
I was never going to... it's AC Slater's great-grandchild now, who's a wrestler at Iowa, strangely enough. But listen, Zach's after the girl on the team. So the deal is that if you were never going to get Peacock before, let me entice you. There's going to be a way to mute it. So for all these years,
hold on, before you say no,
you're going to be able to turn the sound down. Now, I know a lot of times you've been operating at this idea that the TV was at a steady volume the entire time. There was no way to make it louder or quieter.
How in the world do I change this?
Right. So what they think the and I'm not just crapping on this for no reason. I often marvel at the talentlessness and cluelessness of people that run broadcast networks. It's a lot of dumb ideas. And so this is, of course, not, they know you know how to mute the TV. The idea is that you would mute the broadcasters but get the ambient noise, which is just nonsense. Like, I don't want to mute the game because I want to hear the crowd. And then take it a step further. I wasn't going to get Peacock. It wasn't worth the one playoff game to me, but now I will because they have a way to mute the announcers. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. We all have a way to mute the announcers. Plugging your ears.
We're hitting mute.
Yeah, like punching out your eardrum. There are deaf people all over the world that are saying, I can mute the announcers. I can turn off closed captioning.
Yeah.
But their big idea is that you can still hear the crowd, which was already a failure 45 years ago.
Yeah. the reactions ranged, according to one article, from bewilderment to straight up anger as people tuned in. And Don Ohlmeyer, who was the chairman of NBC at the time,
and was head of NBC, the Saturday Night Live, when they had Billy Crystal and Martin Short.
Yeah, he thought the announcers were too chatty, didn't let the game speak for itself. So they picked this game because neither team was in playoff contention. And they said, we got to do something to get people to watch this game. And it did actually, they believe, help the ratings a little bit based on the expectation for what people were going to be, how many were going to be watching. A few more did tune in just to see this announcerless game. And apparently it has been tried one more time. I don't know if you said this.
I didn't know
Peacock
that.
did it with a baseball game between the Royals and the Tigers in July of 2022.
Jeez, how did I miss that?
And there's
it was on Peacock.
And by the way, if
That's how you missed it.
every sport needs announcers. It just does. But if any sport needed an announcer, it's baseball. Like, baseball really needs it, because again, baseball doesn't have a lot of crowd noise anyway, so you would just be listening to murmuring. Again, if just there's no one's going, I would watch that baseball game if I just could not hear it, because you could watch a baseball game at any point without hearing it. What crowd noise in a regular season baseball game? And I love baseball, but just by nature of the game, every 10 minutes, there's something that people go, hey. And when is there a huge spark of applause? I guess a home run.
Yeah.
Not every run that
Extra
crosses
base
the
hit.
base. Not every run that crosses the plate is greeted with intense cheers, especially when it's the visiting team.
Correct. Yeah.
So anyway, again, I just, for the 10th time, I marvel at these media companies. They're just so dumb. Between the satellite company giving Smartless $10 million just to go, not even get exclusive rights to it, just to go, we get it first. Like, anyone's going to go, I wasn't going to get serious, but I can get this free podcast for money. And that's what I'm going to do. And now this is, I've always wanted to turn off the announcers, but somehow still hear the crowd. Now I'll pay for your service. It's almost like a slap in the face. It's not an innovative idea. It's just dumb. But Ben is saying something that was kicked around in the back earlier today. Ben, go ahead.
Hey, yeah, I agree with you guys. Just muting the announcers is stupid. But one cool thing that Apple TV does with the MLS broadcast is you can toggle between their terrible announcers and the local radio call.
If that
was available, and we can get Zolak and Beers. I think it's Beers, right?
No, Zolak and Sosi, but Beers, Beers and Johnson do the hockey. That is an idea that came up in the back office. That makes sense because, like with the NBA package on Amazon, which I for some reason paid for, you can listen to either of the broadcasts. You can do it for the MLB app too. You can listen to either of the broadcasts. Those are the television broadcasts, but he's right, because since every NFL game is a national game, if there was a way that you could listen to the local announcers, that would be something. An idea that people might want. Because they have an affinity for the broadcasters. The people in New England want to hear the New England broadcasters because they're more in depth, they're ingrained with the team. They're rooting for the same thing.
The only thing that's annoying when I've done that in the past, I know we got to go, Adam, sorry, but it doesn't always sync up when you're watching the replays. So, and hearing Sosi and Zoe call the game, they're fantastic, and I have synced it up before, and there are ways of doing it. But when they go to the replay and you can tell they're really slowing things down and there's a long break in the action, Sosi and Zoe are not necessarily talking about what you're seeing on the screen.
But you would be willing to live with that. At least it's I'm not saying it's the best idea ever. I'm just saying it's an idea that makes sense.
Yes.
Unlike muting the announcers.
Yes.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. We are Toucher and Hardy. Hello. Dave Richard is, I guess, coming back to talk to us next hour about the NFL playoffs. Maybe he'll have some ideas on these coaching vacancies that are fairly interesting. It's, John Harbaugh was fired in Baltimore, and, the 7 teams have inquired about him. There are 7 openings, but one of them is the Ravens. So a lot of people have tried to figure out who that 7th team is. Miami, apparently it is not Miami. And it's not Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Bowles is coming back. So.
Yeah, but like, even though they've said that those coaches are coming back, there have been, rumblings that would you look out for John Harbaugh because there's opportunity to get John Harbaugh.
It's different in Tampa because Bowles told the media yesterday he was coming back.
Yeah. So it will be interesting. And I guess Cliff Kingsbury wanted out of the Commanders, that he wasn't fired. He wanted out.
Did you read about what's happening with the Commanders? This is a team that went to the NFC Championship game last year. They fired the defensive coordinator. Kingsbury said, I'm good, and they mutually parted ways. But the story is that it's a dumpster fire.
I didn't know about any of this. So they were meddling even last season when they were having all this success.
No one had any idea who was in charge. Dan Quinn, while putting on a straight face for everyone, apparently it's just chaos.
Yeah, and they can't catch a break because you went from having the worst owner in sports. I mean, he was the worst. Dan Snyder was the worst owner in sports, and then you went from that to apparently this big hero comes in to save the day. And it's still complete mess and completely dysfunctional over there in Washington. So, when you have an offensive – I can't recall an offensive coordinator just going, I'm good. Like, not – and there was this, like, notion that, well, Kingsbury wants to focus on getting a head coaching job. Well, head coaches every year, a lot of them get assistants get head coaching jobs. None of them quit their job. In order to interview.
This is different. He didn't have, by all indications, he doesn't have a job locked down.
He just
wants to leave and interview for other. Like for instance, when Josh McDaniels left, Indianapolis was there. He knew it was there. He's like, I'm leaving, even though he didn't.
What they all do is they leave for a job. They don't leave to interview for jobs.
Right.
They leave for a job. And the way they're talking about this defensive coordinator for L.A., the Chargers that are coming into town Sunday night.
Yep.
The way they're talking about him, you know what word has been thrown out about him now. He's a straight-up genius.
Oh, I thought he was from the Patricia tree or something like that.
No, he's No, but someone sent me a video of Patricia before Ohio State's loss where he had the pencil behind his ears. And he's like, we got some things cooked up.
He's a rocket scientist.
Yeah,
I don't know if you ever heard that.
Yeah, he's a big rocket scientist. Notice he's not a rocket scientist. No. He's definitely not.
He's a football coach.
He's a football coach. He's not a rocket scientist at all.
Jesse Minter is the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, Jesse Minter, the Chargers defensive coordinator, now is being hailed as a genius. He is a straight-up genius. That was the quote I heard this morning in reference to him. He is a genius, a brilliant genius. So look out. He's another one of these geniuses.
But does he have the hat backwards? Does he have the pencil in the ear? Does he do all those things?
I'll tell you.
Otherwise, it doesn't count.
I'll tell you. The NFL, for only having 32 teams, employs a lot of geniuses, a lot of people with genius IQs.
See, you're not able to identify the genius. Matt Patricia's Roger Goodell clown nose shirt is the equivalent of Albert Einstein doing the wacky tongue-out expression.
Or riding his bicycle around town, I guess.
Yes. You know what it is? It's an eccentricity that
whimsy.
only geniuses seem to be able to get away
I
with.
recall Adam Gase, the offensive genius, going in and winning 3 games in a season.
Yeah,
lots of geniuses kicking around the NFL. Lots of them. Lots of offensive geniuses that are so brilliant that they can't figure out how to score points in a game. It's so aggravating. Okay, he's a genius. All right, well, let's see what happens.
Sometimes genius exists in a vacuum, and when you put it on the field of play and there are other factors involved, the genius gets challenged. You have to play another team that will play defense against your offense.
The only way to corroborate that you're a genius in the NFL would be to win. And to that, you would not only have to have the idea, but put the idea into motion.
Oh, what are you, a scoreboard guy? You need wins and points?
Your innovation means nothing unless it's innovative on the field.
God.
Yeah, says you.
Your thinking is so dangerously old-fashioned. How dare you?
And I would also think that innovation would most likely come from someone who's decidedly not a genius, is that maybe just the simplicity of something hasn't been tried.
Yeah.
And then you are almost like, wow, they've dumbed something down enough where it's incredibly effective. Perhaps. Especially on the defensive side of the ball. It just seems like maybe genius would get in the way of that a little bit. Like you're making things so overly complicated that it just becomes mass confusion. You know, on paper, this looks so brilliant, but damnedest thing if it doesn't work. You know, who's the James guy? The James
Bill James.
Bill James. Like Bill James, by all accounts, is this brilliant genius. Have you heard him talk and try to entertain an audience?
Yes, I have.
Not so great.
Yeah,
he's not captain. There's not a lot of charisma.
No, very boring.
Not used to dealing with people.
No. All right. We will be back. We have got a video that's got a lot of engagement, which we are going to build upon. It seems like people are very into this. We will tell you what's going on in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
squad has entered the one-and-done phase of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy, I'm excited, but also we're not here just to, get here. We have to be able to host games and compete for championships. So there's not going to be any consolation prize for anybody. We understand what we have to do.
Garrett Bradbury, Morgan Moses, Anthony Jennings, and Vidarian Lowe all sat out practice with an illness yesterday. Kairos Tonga, a no-show with a foot injury. Chargers are without top running back Omari Hampton. Ramondre Stevenson yesterday voted the AFC's Offensive Player of the Week. In college football news, it's Miami against Ole Miss tonight in one national semifinal at the Fiesta Bowl. Celtics had their 4-game winning streak snapped last night by Denver, 114-110 at TD Garden. Nuggets scored 14 straight points in the fourth quarter to take the lead for good. Jaylen Brown, 33 points for the Celtics. They continue their homestand tomorrow night against Toronto. The Atlanta Hawks traded top guard Trae Young to the Washington Wizards in exchange for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. And the Bruins welcome Calgary to TD Garden tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are proudly brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. It's winter and burst pipes, roof leaks, and water damage can happen fast, but don't panic. Blue Sky's ready to respond 24/7. So visit goblusky.com, restoring your property and your life for a brighter tomorrow. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Drake May. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports. What's the best way to listen to Toucher and Hardy?
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
You got to chill.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, and you can watch us on YouTube. You can subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube and see this show live. Look, the station has got social media accounts. We have a social media account at Toucher and Hardy, at Hardy 98.5, at Fred Toucher. And when I put stuff up at Fred Toucher, there's generally a lot of engagement, but there are people that follow me. So there are people that, pretty much universally are like fans of the show, and we have nice interactions. So, if I put something up for my personal life on Instagram, I don't go through every single comment, but it's generally a fairly normal reaction, or the negative reactions are somewhat in context of my personality. What's great is at 98.5 The Sports Hub, when they put something up, it's often gets shot out to people that don't even know this is a radio station. And Adam, I need you to play this. I need you to play the clip that Nick made that got put up maybe on Monday, but it's still it's got a crazy amount of engagement. Go ahead and Captain Chisholm, incredibly annoying player.
Why?
Too much razzmatazz for an undrafted loser.
For a guy who made his second catch of the season yesterday.
Yeah, every time he catches the ball, he's like flipping his arms and having fun. Like, all right, you suck.
Was he the camp standout player? I mean,
He
was
was.
that? I mean, was that?
He was the
that
guy, yes, he was.
the award?
How
this
come
year?
Afton Chisholm isn't active for week 1? That was the big thing.
It's every catch, he's floating wide open, ignored.
He was this year's Buddy Farnham, but he actually made the team.
And then he turns around and he gets cooking until he's ultimately shoved out of bounds.
Well,
he's returning punts late in the game.
He's got 30 yards between him and any other defender, and he manages to pick up 15. And then he goes, woo, woo.
He's very
and
excited.
claps his arms.
Yeah.
He should annoy you, too. He'd annoy me if he was on the Jets. He would just annoy me. Like, all right, kid, with your 4 catches, relax a little bit with your little celebrations. Okay, so the only reason we're playing this is that the amount of engagement on this is pretty funny, and a lot of it is, I'd say at least half of it is from Blind Sky. And what's funny is that, I'll tell you this, where we're going with this, is that this one comment from 6 hours ago pretty much encapsulates everything. This is about Chisholm. People are very offended that I don't like his celebrations, that I called him a loser. He's progressing up the depth chart like Edelman. Now, what is Edelman? Little white guy. Yeah. Little white guy. They love the little white guys. Oh, do we love the little white guys? We love them so much. Let the little white guy cook. Everyone's going to be the next Edelman. It's unrealistic to expect late undrafted rookies to shoot up the depth chart or produce immediately. And then this is another funny thing. Podcast equipment really needs to have more requirements. No. See, this is a career of now close to 30 years. Hardy is sending his daughter to college. I've put a son through prep school. This is a 25-year career.
This is not a hobby.
No, if you get his podcast, you got about a 1 in 250,000 chance. 1 in 250,000 of getting that podcast off the ground. If you get a job with a media company, you probably got a 1 in 100 chance of having a career. On air, if you get a job with a media company, you have a 100% chance of making a salary. No. Big difference between setting up a microphone in your bedroom and broadcasting to the ether. There is a shot. I mean, you could be the Haktua girl and, step into that.
And that's worked out for her, by the way.
Exactly. And you can step into that. Or you could get a job. I'm not saying a radio company. You get a job with a media company that is got a structure and paychecks. And that will allow you to raise children and put them through schooling and things of that nature. But nonetheless, Edelman really is the thing that this is all about. But very quickly, Blind Scott, how many times have you and what's funny is Blind Scott's a lunatic. But all these other people are lunatics, too, because they all are arguing with Blind Scott, which is what makes it so funny. Because Blind Scott, how many times have you commented on this thing?
So there's probably about 500 comments. I'm probably like 250, but I know when to go in there. So the West Coast would go in there at 7:30 Pacific time. So I went in there around that time last night because I know they just ate dinner and they're looking at their social media. You can fight with people live in there at certain times of the day.
Well, yeah, you have a whole thing going because you're a lunatic. You have this whole thing going with this, right? And you love to argue with them.
And they censor you. So they censor you on Instagram, so you can't say anything too crazy. So they won't let me. So they stop me if I say anything too crazy. So it's perfect,
Right.
It's really easy for me, and I'm showing off to the sports hub too at the same time.
Right. So Blind Scott's obviously insane. So what you're doing is you're engaging with him, not you, the listener. If you're listening now, chances are you're not engaging with Blind Scott. But these losers are all on there screaming and yelling because they don't like that Efton Chisholm. Now, if you're a listener and you're like, Fred's a dick or I hate the show, these are all legitimate points. Like Scott said, these are people in Los Angeles, losers that are arguing with an insane person on there, which you don't understand how delightful that is to me, that Blind Scott he has this whole thing that he does. And ultimately what that should do is just ruin the video. That goes, why would I comment on this? There's someone who's commented on this 250 times. They're up there. Like, why would I engage with this? This is obviously but no. Every time Blind Scott goes back at someone, it generates the way Instagram works because it's so dumb. Is the more engagement a video gets, the more it gets on people's algorithms. So Blind Scott arguing with these people and them arguing back with him. And then they'll make points like, what's wrong with you? You've commented on this a million times. Well, you know what's wrong with him. He's nuts. Like, you can't answer that question yourself. You have to ask him. He's commented on it, like he said, I guess 250 times. That's self-evident. You've figured it out yourself. But there's guys having back and forth with Blind Scott. So you're Blind Scott. You get that, right? Like, you doing that, you're Blind Scott. In fact, Blind Scott's even a little bit better than you because he knows what he's doing. He's trying to get the attention of the station, which worked because it's very funny to me. So at what point in these people's lives do they go like, I'm arguing with a lunatic? Maybe time better well spent doing something else.
Never.
Well, Fred, how dare you? is what I think we can take away from this. Speak ill of Efton Chisholm or any number of men who have shined perhaps in the preseason and gotten precious little chances to do so in the regular season. And for that, we salute them now.
On the rollout, on the move.
Training camp hero.
It is caught for a touchdown. Efton Chisholm III.
Training camp hero.
Undrafted out of Eastern Washington.
But they don't play.
Hold on to that ball, young man.
Yeah. Training camp hero.
Oh, the dream is an Edelman. Everyone loves a little can-do white kid. Now, Edelman was drafted, so that makes him a little bit different than Efton Chisholm. But Efton Chisholm was paid more than most undrafted free agents. They had their eye on him.
Yes.
He was a big undrafted free agent. And since Hardy worked for the Patriots, doing uncountable amounts of pre and post game.
A lot of pre and post, and that counts. That includes the preseason, where we'd have to do a 2-hour pregame with 1 90-second break in the middle of a pregame show not per hour, in the middle of the 2 hours. We
had one break total.
90-second break.
Nice.
In the middle of the 2-hour pregame.
But I would imagine
a preseason game.
And I'd imagine there's a lot of listener interaction, so you could just go to the phones at any point.
We actually, since it was catering to the diehard Patriot fans around the world, we would get calls.
That's right. International, bigger audience.
Yeah.
Of course.
But unfortunately, I was not there in 2010 for my go-to whenever we have this discussion. And the first I submit is Buddy Farnham, who was an undrafted free agent in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
He was unfortunately cut on August 9th of 2010, but re-signed the very next week, cut again 2 weeks later, signed to the practice squad in December of that year and signed to a future contract in January of 2011,
nice.
only to be waived in September of that same year.
Now, are we talking little white guy here, or what are we talking about?
Not so little. He had soft hands, as Jerry Trupiano pointed out. Soft hands, Buddy Farnham.
Yeah.
And he really was.
Heyday.
He was electric in the preseason, straight out of Andover, Mass. So he had the local tie. He was 6 feet tall. So he was
but 6 feet listed as 6 feet. That can easily be a 5'10", which might be. But, in the NFL, they don't, slot receiver, you can be a little bit on the shorter side.
But I kicked this around a little bit to the likes of Jim Louth and Paul Perillo. But I'm wondering, John, before I go to their training camp heroes, if you had any that stuck out to you.
Well, it doesn't have to be a wide receiver, because I have a quarterback in mind.
Oh, no, it can be any position.
I have a quarterback
Jonathan.
in mind from, say, 7 years ago. There was a guy, Danny Etling, who was a quarterback.
Training camp hero.
He ran 70 yards for a touchdown in the final preseason game, and oddly enough, didn't make the team. And fans were like, how come Danny Etling would make the team? Etling, if you remember, Fred, I remember we had this discussion on air, Etling couldn't make it in the NFL as a quarterback, diminutive white quarterback. So he decided he was going to make it as a wide receiver. And we found out that his 40 time was 4.77. And we said, being a wide receiver in the NFL with a 4.7, probably not very good.
Well, if you were, 6'11", I would imagine that there would be a better chance of being a little white guy. But
yes.
Boston loves its little white guys.
Danny Etling out of Purdue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a D1 kid.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do?
But there were a couple of crossover names, ones that I thought of, but the first one mentioned by both Paul Perillo and Jim Louth, their ultimate training camp hero. I'm wondering if you can remember this, John. This was 2007.
Okay.
Ohio State.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I know the guy you're talking about.
I think I might know the guy you're talking about.
I can't remember his name, though.
I take that back. 2005, and I think he stuck around for a second year.
2005, I wasn't even in Boston.
I got no shot at this.
I
don't know who it is.
Bam Childress.
Oh, yeah, I remember Bam Childress. Yeah.
Signed a short-term deal, participated in training camp. Prior to the 06 season opener, the team did release him, signed him to the practice squad, activated him again But he was electric. Bam Childress, loved by so many.
I can match that. There was a guy a little longer than that, had a huge preseason. Brian Timms, Tyms.
Training camp heroes.
Brian Timms was electric during the preseason, and fans were clamoring for him like Chisholm to make the opening. Timms wound up on the practice squad the entire year and then was cut. Never saw a snap, I believe, during the regular season.
So Louth had that one. Perillo did not. And I asked Beetle about it last night. He's like, Brian Timms.
Oh, yeah, Brian Timms. I remember that guy.
Well, I just looked him up. Brian Timms, a powerful story from foster kid to football star.
All right.
The great Brian Timms from the Florida A&M Rattlers.
Okay.
Not even originally an undrafted free agent for the, by the way, for the Patriots. His first squad, the San Francisco 49ers, where he was then cut and then made available.
Let me see if I don't expect you to come up with the name, Fred, but let's see if you remember it after I tell you. 2013, signed with the Patriots. He was referred to as Baby Gronk.
Oh, I know that guy.
I know that too.
Zach Sudfeld.
Sudfeld played for the Lions.
Yes. He had one big game. He caught like a touchdown pass from Brady and a 2-point conversion. And the nickname, I'll never forget this, not the headline, but one of the writers called him Studfeld.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, Sudfeld was a big kid.
Yes, he was.
And Sudfeld played for the Lions for a little bit, too.
Oh, he did? I
because when he was cut by the Patriots, he ended up playing for the Lions. Yeah,
Zach
Sudfeld was all right.
Not the Lions.
Oh, the Jets?
Jets.
Oh, same difference. All right. So he played for the Jets.
Claimed off waivers by the Jets, caught 5 passes for 63 yards that season. But
did he play for the Lions?
I don't think he did.
Okay. All right. Because I knew it was one of them. I said off air yesterday, I said Sudfeld Jets, but then I thought again, and I thought it might have been the Lions.
Yeah.
But Sudfeld had a chance to be a decent player. Like, he was a big kid. Like, he was a prototypically big tight end.
But the funny part about it was, on a team with Rob Gronkowski, fans
he played for the
Lions.
Lions.
Zach Sudfeld to make this team.
Oh, Nate Sudfeld played for the Lions. My bad.
Nate Sudfeld was a quarterback, correct?
Yes. My bad.
But Zach Sudfeld does have a twin brother named Matt, who is a director of strategic development of a humanitarian organization.
Oh.
Well,
so that's probably why you're getting confused. I'm sure you're familiar with that organization.
Well, Sudfeld, not only a white guy with long hair, which we saw, and by evidence of the kid out of Michigan, the linebacker that the Patriots had. You can make a lot of endorsement money.
Nate is his younger brother.
You can make a lot of endorsement money just being.
I remember that.
And you don't even remember the guy's name. No. He was a linebacker out of Michigan. They drafted him in the 3rd round, and he was on this station 24/7. This guy, he was at everything. Every auto. Chase Winovich.
Thank you.
Every auto play, just because he had that hair. Because you can't tell who anyone is under a helmet, right?
Yeah.
So if you have long hair, automatically, like those flowing locks are going to get you some kind of money.
Our relationship started to sour with him when he was calling in the midday show, and we started goofing on him for listing stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Much like our Live Free or Buy segment, he was selling things like his dog treadmill.
All right. Well, okay. I'll tell you. Well, you gentlemen just keep this in mind, because according to the internet, there is nothing, social media, there is nothing that this town rallies around more than a can-do white kid. A little undersized.
Training camp heroes, but they don't play.
So if you'd like to argue with Blind Scott, look no further than at 98.5 The Sports Hub. He's available. 20 hours a day, I'd imagine he's available.
I think it's more. I think it will wake
he
up
does
and do
sleep.
It.
He sleeps at odd hours.
All right.
As many blind people, they have unconventional sleeping patterns. But he's out there. He's available to talk to right now. He's on that thing yapping away, and people are engaging with him and yelling at him and having a good time.
Lots of back and forth from 12, 14 hours ago. I was just saw some new ones pop up here this morning.
He ride or dies, man.
He does.
He is a big fan. But he's not even doing it for us.
No.
He's just described it when he was on the air. He's doing it for himself.
Yeah.
He's getting some shine. You understand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what he's doing is even more. There's more of a chance of Blind Scott getting attention doing that than there is you making a podcast. I got news for you. Get a job with a media company. Get a job with. I don't care who it is. It doesn't have to be a radio company. It doesn't even have to be something publicly traded. But get a job where there's a paycheck involved. Even if you start not talking, get a job. That's my advice to you. And I would know. I do know. I've managed. I'm 50. Even if I got fired today, I've made money. I got enough money to put 2 kids through college. I own a home. I'm telling you. My advice to you. Look at Adam. He's ruined so many radio stations, but he's still getting a paycheck.
That's right.
Get a job with a media company.
Ain't from podcasting.
Yeah, your podcast, you got it's like a lottery ticket. You very little chance of winning that. You get a job for a media company, any media company. Get a paycheck. That's my advice to you. You, the listener. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with Dave Richard, who works for me.
Training Camp Heroes. Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Our friend Dave Richard, every single one. And if you watch any national guys, you can tell clearly there are a lot of games they have not watched. And maybe you experienced that over the last, until this year, over the last few years with the Patriots, is that you'll have watched the Patriots game, but it's clearly the guys that are briefly speaking on it did not watch the game because they were reacting entirely to the box score. Box score analysis is what that's called for a lot of people. Dave Richard, hello, sir.
Fred, I have to admit something.
Go ahead.
I did not watch the Chargers game last week.
Oh, God.
They rested their starters. Denver played theirs. I did watch the Denver offense, but I really didn't put much stock in it because the Chargers rested so many of their guys. I apologize for not brushing up on Chargers backup players.
I watched
in
that
advance
game.
of this huge game against the Patriots, but I think the Chargers will play their starters. I feel pretty comfortable with my ideas on what they might do against the Patriots.
I can speak for you because I did watch that game because I was fascinated that Denver couldn't put them away. That just
yes, that's definitely concerning.
Yeah, their offense was just like, we don't want to see that end zone. There's no part of us that needs to get in there. We'll just allow our defense to put us in position to score or score themselves, but we have no desire to do that. Well, one thing of just speaking of that game before we get into the Patriots Chargers is what is your take on the Denver defense? Because now I'm reading things that statistically they're not even that great a defense.
They've fallen off a little bit. They began the year red hot. Their pass rush was outstanding. They were on track to set the NFL single season record for total sacks. And while I believe they led the league, I think they fell just short. And they haven't been quite as dominant getting to the quarterback as they were, let's call it the midpoint of the season. And really people started to see cracks in it when they took on Jacksonville. And it was 3-4 weeks ago, and Jacksonville just absolutely lapped them. And so when that happened, that's when people started to really say, whoa, maybe this Denver team isn't as great as we thought they were. And the week before, the Packers put up a bunch of points on them. So I think Denver kind of fell into the number one seed for lack of a better term. But I don't know if they're necessarily the best team in the AFC. I don't know who the best team in the AFC is. There is no team. You think about the Patriots during their dynasty with Brady and then the Chiefs with Mahomes. There was a time where people knew, all right, this is the best team in the AFC. I don't think there is a best team going into the playoffs this year. I think all these teams have their strengths and their weaknesses, and it's not going to surprise me if any of the seven, literally any of the seven, make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and this is a little stat on Denver. From week 13 on, the Broncos ranked 9th in EPA play despite playing the Commanders, Raiders, and Chiefs.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are playing a guy, Oladokin at QB.
Oladokin.
Yeah,
Oladokin.
I take your word for it.
A lot of something.
Justin Herbert, less Chargers, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it's a little bit weird there. Just having someone who watches almost every game on, and Dave Richard, who's the MVP this year?
I think it's Matthew Stafford. And I know that stinks for people who want to say it's Drake May, and I get it, but I feel like either quarterback on the Patriots, yes, they would have had an amazing year, but Stafford, to me, has really helped the Rams just put together the best possible year that they could. And it's really close between those two, but Stafford, thinking about just how he almost didn't play, all the vibes coming out of LA before the season started were pretty ugly.
Well, he's getting epidurals. He was getting epidural shots.
And what did he do? He led the league in passing. I think it's a career high in touchdowns, just a monster year for him. And I also wonder if the voters are going to end up leaning toward the older guy rather than the younger guy.
Okay,
thinking that Drake May will have his chances later on.
Yeah,
it's not because Drake May had a bad year; he had a monster year. But I just think that Stafford is going to eke it out, and I think Week 18 had a lot to do with it because after Week 17, I think a lot of people would have said May. But they don't vote till after Week 18. And after Week 18, with the stats that Stafford has, you want to talk about box score analysis. I think a lot of those voters will see that and they'll go, all right, give it to Stafford. And I tend to agree, but not because of what's in the box score. It's just because his value to the Rams. If Jimmy Garoppolo were the starting quarterback for the Rams, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs.
All right, that was Fred's point about a lot of voters maybe just saying, okay, Stafford, because of the fact that he's older and it's a bit of a lifetime achievement award, but and again, only care for the purposes of the conversation. I'm not going to feel, slighted somehow if May doesn't get it. But your point about giving the Rams their best possible season, Drake May and what he did for the Patriots, there is no one on this planet who thought they were going to go 14-3. And
That's true.
And May did it without Puka Nacua and without Devontae Adams. So if you're going to make that point that Stafford was responsible for giving the Rams their best possible season, just on that point alone, Drake May wins it heads and shoulders above Stafford by that analysis.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Okay, well, there you go.
So
We'll leave it at that.
I've changed your mind. Yeah, okay,
good. What I was saying when Hardy referenced my thought on it is if I was voting for the MVP and I thought it was pretty much just the same, I'd vote for Stafford. For that I would vote for him because he's older. He's a good guy.
He's a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's the tiebreaker in most cases. You know what I'm saying? It is Stafford. We said this before. Stafford has the big numbers. If you look at advanced metrics, May has the best passer rating outside the numbers, whatever the case may be, and he doesn't have as good wide receivers. But in a situation like this, Stafford will get the nod because he's never won one.
Right. So it just comes down to this. If it's the same, if you just say it's the same, and I don't want to be bothered with everything, it's just like pretty much the same. They're both good guys. Stafford's older. He's never won it. Let Stafford have it, is how I would vote for it. But then again, I don't know if I'd put a tremendous amount of thought into it if I had a vote, which is probably a better I don't have one. But here come the Chargers. I've been told, Dave, that they have a genius, a straight-up quote, straight-up genius as a defensive coordinator. But it is a very good coach-quarterback combination. Herbert is considered by some not a big winner. What are your thoughts of this matchup going into it?
I'm very intrigued by it, but it's not one of the games that I think is a toss-up. There are a couple of games this weekend that I look at and I go, I don't know who's going to win. I think I know who's going to win this game. The Chargers defense has been great, but man, their offensive line is in rough shape. You remember those weeks when Will Campbell was out and Jared Wilson was out and everybody in New England was kind of freaking out about the offensive line and, how are we going to, do what we do without the left side of our offensive line there? And the Patriots were okay. The Chargers have been absolutely crushed by injuries on that offensive line, and it has not been okay. There's really been like one game since Joe Alt has been out where Justin Herbert put up huge numbers, and the Chargers found ways to win with their defense, but they played a lot of teams that just didn't have it that day or that season. To be honest, they had a lot of weak teams that they beat, and I don't think the Patriots are one of those teams. More importantly, the Patriots are getting healthy on defense as well, and I think the timing is perfect for New England to beat the Chargers. They're the 7 seed for a reason. They're a good team. They're a well-coached team. But as long as, and honestly, I'm thrilled for the Patriots that Milton Williams played last week, about half the snaps. He looked great against the run. I think he can get better with his pass rush. We know that he's very important to getting Justin Herbert, and he will get to Justin Herbert because of that offensive line. And Robert Spillane, I brought his name up a number of times when we've talked.
Yeah.
You're
not alone.
I hope that
he's the key.
He knocks off the rust on the first 2 drives, and then after that, the Patriots can really lock down on Marion Hampton, because if they can slow down those running backs, it's going to be a good game for the Patriots if they can do that. So stopping Omarion Hampton is important. It's easier to do because of that offensive line and the state that it's in for the Chargers. They got to win on the edges. They cannot give up big plays on the edges to those running backs that the Chargers have. As long as they do that, I think the Patriots will win.
I'm going to do this for John and Adam, is that whenever I hear the Robert Spillane thing, it just is so football-y. Because if I ever went into a World Series and I was like, it all comes down to Tito Landrum. It all comes down Jose Oquendo's availability should something get in. And, he's very important at the 8th slot. He's going to play a lot of big defense in left field. So Taguchi is going to be in there. He's going to have to man left field. It's going to be a whole situation. The bottom of the order is really going to have to come into this. It is funny. It's like
the argument, Dave, over the last couple of weeks when Spillane was out was how important is he to the defense, and we kind of here on the show kind of pointed out, well, Milton Williams is more important. Christian Barmore is more important. Christian Gonzalez is more important. So at best, he's fourth best. Patriots should be able to do some things, even though he's not in there.
Just with all the injuries that teams have, I just was – because you're not alone, and I don't doubt Spillane's very important. Yeah. I'm kind of just poking fun at it, but it is –
It's fun.
It is, here the Chargers are missing both tackles that are like all pro tackles, and then, you're missing a free agent middle linebacker, street free agent that you picked up middle linebacker. What are you going to do? All right. Who has this was interesting. I heard Perillo yesterday on Felger and Maz, and they were talking about it. Who has the better roster, top to bottom? The Chargers, right now, the Chargers or the Patriots?
Top to bottom, I think I'd lean the Chargers based on
that's interesting, huh?
Now.
Right.
No. Let me take that back. The Patriots. I don't know why
so you would say the Patriots.
I don't agree with that. It's the Patriots. I don't know. I have no idea why I blurted the Chargers out there. I don't think it's a Freudian slip. But I think it's the Patriots based on who's healthy now. Because you just start with the offensive line. I would rather have the offensive line for the Patriots. Quarterback is close. But you kind of talked about Justin Herbert and how, like, in the clutch, he kind of melts down a little bit. I saw that when he was coming out of Oregon. And certainly we saw it in his first playoff game against Jacksonville when that whole team melted down. And I think about the pass rush. Yeah, maybe there's an edge there for the Chargers. But
Perillo said at all levels of defense, the Chargers had a better roster. He picked the Patriots to win the game.
Agree with that.
Oh, you don't
agree
with
with that?
Okay.
Yeah, I think the secondary, I would give the nod to New England, and the linebacker. I mean, Robert Spillane, Fred. I mean, that's no. I think that's close at linebacker. And defensive line, I would give that nod to the Patriots as well.
It's funny, but because I won't even argue with you, but if you went into this season saying, wow, who had the better roster, the Chargers or the Patriots, people would have your head examined if you said the Patriots. But
I agree. And I think a lot of it has to do with the injuries that the Chargers have incurred, not just on the offensive line, but just everywhere. And not that the Patriots haven't had their fair share of injuries, but what are the biggest, hugest injuries that the Patriots have had that have, cost them something huge for the season?
Well, they've lost important positions, but nothing is really short of Christian Gonzalez. It seemed like Gonzalez, when he was out at the beginning of the season, impacted him, but it's tough to say because it's the beginning of the season, right?
Right.
So,
now he's playing.
Right.
So
now he's playing
much better.
No, but if you talk about as the season for a whole, because when Campbell got hurt, it might have affected things play to play, but it didn't affect the outcome of games, really.
Right. It's true.
And so they've seemed to even withstand injuries at major positions. Well, listen, Dave, who is a neutral voice, likes the Patriots on Sunday night. You like them by a lot or you like them by a little?
Let me just give you this quick stat. Each of New England's past 7 wins have been by 4 or more points. Each of the Chargers' past 5 losses have been by 4 or more points. Do with that information what you will.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
So you like them,
Dave says blowout.
Dave says 3.5 is.
Dave says blowout. That's what I got out of that.
Dave says he likes the Patriots giving 3.5. All right, there you go. Dave Richard, CBS Sports. How do people find you, my friend?
I am on YouTube. Search for Fantasy Football Today. You'll find our podcast. We're going to do a live show today, 10 a.m. We will go over this game and all of the playoff games. Tell you if you're playing in a fantasy playoff challenge or if you're going to make some bets, what have you. We'll help you out there, get you covered for Wild Card Weekend. YouTube.com, search for Fantasy Football Today.
All right, Dave Richard. Thank you so much for the time, sir.
Thanks, Dave.
You got it, guys. Enjoy the game.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, the Toucher and Hardy email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. You can call all sevens. Now, do you know the number at this point, Jonathan?
Yes, I do. It's 617-777-7777.
Yeah. Or gottagetglassman.com. But it's 6-1 and then a series of sevens.
8 of them, if I remember correctly, in a row. Just keep hitting 7.
Just think Blossom's friend.
That's 6.
You're
Damn
correct.
you.
61,
I thought I could
77,
get you.
77, 77, 77.
Yeah, makes sense.
There you go. For Jeffrey Glassman, Injury Lawyers. This is from Aaron. He says, Fred, are you okay this morning, man?
Yeah.
Sounds like you need a hug or a bondage session. Something. I don't know. What, do I seem like something's wrong with me?
No, more than usual.
I was enjoying the Blind Scott on Instagram thing. That is making me.
Yes.
Dave, Richard made you look like a fool. This is from Joe. Here you are with this long-winded soliloquy on how Richard watches every game and then he comes on and tells you he didn't. What happens now?
I thought that was funny.
Boy, did you look bad.
I don't know. I set him up, and then he knocked the wind out of me.
Yeah.
He did knock me down. He did not. I watched a game he didn't watch. Well, look at that.
It very rarely happens.
Almost never.
Yeah.
You got to figure.
We did a segment called Training Camp Heroes at the beginning of the hour. I have gotten 5 or 6 suggestions to add to that segment.
Right, and this is piggybacking on the show, really, as a whole. We were making fun of Efton Chisholm for spazzing out after he gets a reception in an NFL game. Like, you know, Barry Sanders would hand the ball to the official, and he was very good. You know, some would say the best ever.
Some would say better than Efton Chisholm III.
Well, some that we haven't seen his career play out yet.
Yeah.
But, and you know, Sanders won a Heisman, so we had that going for him. So a little unfair kick getting into the NFL. But, you know, so we were, and people, they do not like it. And really it comes down to he's the next Edelman, which is the dream.
Right.
Even though Edelman was drafted, that the dream is the little white kid, can-do white kid is going to come in and make everything okay. And, John, what are these suggestions that people have?
Let's see. Sam and others sent me Austin Carr, who was a wide receiver 7-8 years ago. I think 2016, 17, somewhere in there.
2017,
Yeah.
signed him to a almost $1.7 million contract, 3-year deal with a signing bonus of $7,000.
Wow.
14 catches in the preseason for 153 yards, 2 touchdowns in those 4 preseason games.
Oddly enough, never played for the Patriots.
Despite a strong training camp in preseason, he was waived by the Patriots on September 2nd.
Yeah, I think he hung around for another team in the NFC for some length of time. But no, never really saw the field.
And when it comes down to like the Efton Chisholm stuff or like anything about these training camp guys, like people go, oh, yeah, you know, like you could play in the NFL. And it's like, yeah, I realize you're a good athlete if you play Division I football. I understand that there is inherently an athleticism and a work ethic that's involved in that. God, people are stupid. and I don't know how you're not annoyed by like some nobody flailing around like he just did something because you got a first down.
Caught a touchdown pass against the Jets. Very happy about that.
Well, that's worse than a preseason game.
Yeah, that's why you're so mad.
Yeah, I was really had my hopes up. I'm like,
diving catch
I'm like, get that worst draft pick.
Yeah.
I'm like, Efton Chisholm, you've done it again.
Training camp hero.
I'm like, the Jets. I came into this. I had the money line.
One other suggestion that I do not agree with: Sean Morey from the late '90s. Sean Morey Brown University's own.
You're on your own there.
Sean
I don't
Morey.
know.
No, Morey had one of those great training camps and stuck around on special teams, but he played like 8 or 9 years in the league, and I think went to a Pro Bowl one year. So that goes against the spirit of the competition here. So
I got one very hurtful email from Chris. There's no way, after I've been talking for years now about Valvoline Instant Oil Change, he said, there's no way you let someone else change your oil. You're going to let someone else put the wrong torque on your drain plug and oil filter. But if I recall, you have a Ram truck, so it won't be lasting long anyway. Zing. How dare you? Number one, about the oil changes, I have no desire to change my own oil. That's just not a thing.
I was at Valvoline yesterday.
Yeah, they're
as a matter of
fantastic.
fact.
But as far as my truck goes, 110,000 miles, nothing but routine maintenance. Knock on wood.
You have 110,000 miles on that thing?
Yeah.
You and my father. How long have you had that thing?
2019. I think August of 2019.
Wow, you put a lot of miles on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
If
But,
I have
that
30,000...
that thing is holding up very, very nicely.
When did I get my Bronco? Because there's 30,000 miles on my Bronco.
Well, we know it was after 2020, so
yeah.
Was it after we moved here? Because I don't think you had the Bronco when we were in Dorchester, so it would be after summer 2022.
I think 12's right. I think 12's right.
Because I think
about
you
that.
talked about it. Because remember, you had to wait a while to get it.
So
think
I
it was
probably
like
had the Bronco for
2022.
3 years. So I put 10,000. So you drive more than I do, and I was under the impression I was driving a lot. So I put a little over 10,000 miles a year on it. So I guess that's not a lot.
So
No, I'm like, I think on average over 15.
Wow.
Had the Acura 5 years now, and it's 92,000. So
that's
17,000, 18,000 a year.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's
Where
a
are
lot.
you going?
Back and forth to Philadelphia, my friend. Back and forth to Bryant University in Rhode Island.
That's
my
right.
friend.
He goes to Bryant.
That's
but,
right.
Well, he tries to Philadelphia 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Now, do you go on like road trips?
Not really.
Because you wouldn't take the family in the pickup, right?
Oh yeah, we did one trip to North Carolina. Let me tell you
How
something.
much fun was that?
Fantastic. The 4 of us and the dog, and it's
You put the dog right in the bed.
yeah.
Scout, we'll see you in a few hours.
The back seat of the truck, and this is all pretty much crew cabs. Now they're so big that we put not just the dog but the dog's bed on the floor of the back seat between where the 2 kids were sitting, and everyone has more than enough room.
It sounds like heaven on earth. I mean,
That was a great trip. You ask even my kids, we had a good time doing that.
driving to North Carolina.
Driving to North Carolina.
That's a very like a Mormon family outing of
And
you.
we did it. We stayed overnight in a hotel on the way down. On the way back, we did it in one shot. Left at 8 a.m. We're back home by 9 p.m.
My mom and I went from Orlando to Detroit without stopping overnight.
Oh, that's see.
We did it in 18 and a half hours. Orlando to Detroit. And I got pulled over on Orchard Lake Road.
Before
I got home.
the city limits.
Yeah.
No.
On the way back?
On the way back. I got pulled over on Orchard Lake
man.
Road, and the cop said, and I said, just please give me the ticket. I want to go home. I said, give me a ticket for whatever you want. And he did not like that, which I didn't understand. I was like, I'm acquiescing to you. Just do it quickly if you would.
That's
All right.
impressive.
Yeah, there you go. It's not a lie. We'll be back in just a moment with Phil Perry in studio.
You're listening to Touch.
And Hardy, you can watch us on YouTube because Phil Perry's here. So there's another face, a fourth face in the studio. So Phil Perry, of course, covers the Patriots for NBC Sports Boston. Not only can he do pull-ups, he can do them while a weight is attached to his body.
Oh, yeah, he bragged about that.
Well, he didn't brag about it. He didn't brag about it. In fairness, it was discussion. And he said, yeah, I even will use a weight, which is very impressive to me because I want to be able to do. My son makes fun of me for not being able to do a pull-up. And I now it's getting less and less assistance is needed. I could almost even just use a band at this point. I probably need about 25 pounds of assistance. But we were at first the very best people were working with me. Some would say the best.
Some would say the best.
Some would say the best. I would need about 65 pounds of assistance. Say I'm 190. I would, which is being generous. I'm probably more like 195. Now I'm down. I probably need about 25 pounds of assistance, so I could lose 25 pounds, or I could I could keep working at this goal. It's the only thing I want to be able to do physically. I don't want to run a marathon really. I don't want to do anything. I want to be able to do pull-ups.
Oh,
I figure that you should, as a man, be able to do pull-ups.
I think it's a great goal.
Can you do pull-ups?
I'm proud of you. You're really progressing. You've come a long way in not that much time. It was like a month ago you said you needed 65 pounds.
I was starting from very raw materials here. There was, you know how, like, you know when like someone who weighs 400 pounds goes like, I lost like 30 pounds, and you're like, oh, big deal. Like you walked. Like you walked to the bathroom. Like that's easy to do. Like I was real veal. It wasn't too hard. I appreciate the sentiment. But can you guys do a pull-up, do you think?
I cannot do
an overhand pull-up.
I cannot do it.
Could I give you one? I think I could give you one.
You could. That's impressive.
I think it's been a long time. I used to have I put a pull-up bar in the basement of our old house, so I used to like do them.
Like a wide overhand pull-up.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Just
to
with
me.
just put up there with like plumbing pipe and joints.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a pull-up bar on my door.
Raw.
Yeah,
Talk about raw.
It was like Clubber Lang.
Yeah, shirt off.
It was either that or just tying ropes
The
around
mirror's
the
all
beam.
dirty in front of him. Yeah.
Well, or we could be like Apollo Creed's gym in Rocky III, which was in Compton.
Yeah.
Very, very poor, but had an Olympic-sized indoor
Bordered
pool.
by a swimming pool, yes.
Had an Olympic-sized indoor pool in it. There were bums all over the place, but damn it if you couldn't take a nice swim at 5 o'clock in the morning in an Olympic-sized pool.
I'm a little thrown off because Phil is not wearing the quarter zip this week. Usually Phil wears the quarter zip, and I've been informed now because Callahan wore one earlier this week that it's pretty much the Patriot beat writer uniform. All of you wear quarter zips.
I mean, yeah, that's been going on for years. There's a number of us that are around the same age, Caucasian males, and we all show up in Patagonia quarter zips. And the poor players, like if the players don't know you well, like it's
just,
like
you just
all
all
could
look
be
the
just
same?
all the same. Which one are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Hardy,
Which is fine.
Hardy likes where this
Early on, I got you and Tom Giles confused. In fact, I think I called Tom Phil at the Super Bowl one year, or I called you Tom.
That still happens, believe it or not.
Yeah. And
People
you
that work in our
really don't
building.
look alike, but similar height, good-looking guys, TV face.
I always tell Giles I'm thrilled by that mistake because I think he's a handsome dude.
Can Giles do weighted,
I'll take that.
Weighted pull-ups?
Giles is in. We have a little gym in our office, and he's in there all the time. We call him Tommy Plates. Tommy Plates, because he is constantly working out. So,
But at the office
I've never seen
gym.
him. I've never seen him do pull-ups, but I'm sure he can.
But at the office gym, that's usually not a place of great athletic achievement. It's usually like Ted Johnson. He goes to one of those garage gyms.
Yeah.
Like people when they're like into bodybuilding, they have to go to like a place that's decrepit with like no electricity. It's a real thing. I'm not making it up.
Like Hardy's basement.
You got to focus. You got to focus
thing.
on the routine. You don't want all the outside air conditioning.
You've got like a loose steam pipe
bars
somewhere,
and
and it's sort of
So
creating an ambiance.
There's a place in Canton, Ohio that's very famous, and it's only for power lifters, and it's famous in its like exclusivity. Like I guess they're total dicks. And I saw a little thing on YouTube about it. I've read about it though too, and only power lifters, not even like a bodybuilder, like real powerlifting. Like you have to lift a certain amount to be able to even go in there. And is it a dump? But they all want it like that,
right?
Concrete.
Does Tommy Curran saunter into the gym there at NBC Sports with his like Joe Weider gloves and his belt?
Big hoop guy.
No gloves. He's a bike guy. He'll jump on the old Peloton. We get a little Peloton machine in there, and so he'll jump on that and go to town.
You know what that'll do? That'll numb your nuts and penis, and then once I. Oh yeah, everyone knows.
Yes. I haven't biked.
Yeah, you can't because and then what happens is
that's why they call Kurt an old tingly prick. You just very numb.
Yeah, so this numbness occurs.
I've never heard this before.
And then no, it's absolutely true.
It's his nickname.
No, I'm not saying it happens to Curran, but it does happen.
It happens.
And then you Google it, and they go, "Oh, by the way, this could never go away." And it's not a tingling. It's not. It's a dead numbness, like a numbness that takes over your genitals, where like it's almost like a phantom limb. Like you cannot feel it. No, whatever you do.
Congratulations on having to feel like a limb. I mean, good for you.
Something to be champion.
I guess it would be the opposite of a phantom limb. In that it's
phantom finger. I could relate.
Well, I mean, a pinky's a limb. I mean, it's still something.
Phantom digit.
Or an appendage.
Yeah. Well, okay, fine. A phantom appendage. Boy, oh boy. Leave it to you guys to get crass. But anyway, it happened to me like the second time I read the Peloton. It happened like twice, like 2 times in a row. So I Googled it, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? And they're like, oh, no, this happens all the time. And in some occasions, it won't go away. And I go, well, then I'll never be riding a bike again.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the kind of like numbness that it would be. It's not only that it's your penis. If it happened anywhere, you'd be like, what the hell's going on?
Of course.
It's a restriction of blood flow because of the seat.
But here's the thing. You've got to be on the bike, I would imagine, for hours for that.
No, it's literally like the way you're seated in the area between your ass and balls that it cuts the blood off, the bloodstream, and it's just the way you're seated. So even if you're only on it for 15 minutes, and believe me, when it happens, like you stand up and go like something's wrong, like I gotta like start working. It's blood back into
the grundle artery gets restricted.
I was gonna say, is that the jugular all the way down there? Or
No,
that's something else.
no,
Okay.
No, that's only on women. So, all right, Phil Perry is in here, and we have a very exciting. Did you know the Sunday night game in the NFL is not the most important game in the playoffs? Did you know that by the network standards?
I didn't.
Neither did I. Paul Perillo needed to call in. He had to prove himself right. According to the research for the Kraft Group.
We called him.
No, he called us.
No.
Oh.
I thought Paul called us.
I wanted to get him on like mid-segment, so I sent his number to Nick. I said, "Please call."
I thought we were cool guys and Paul was calling in. I thought
he was listening because he texted while he was.
Yeah, but I thought he called in. I thought he called in.
The shine off that.
I do agree, but nonetheless, and he was saying that the 4:00 game on Sunday, according to the research by the Kraft Sports Group, is the game that they care about the most. Isn't that interesting?
That gets the most eyeballs?
They put the marquee matchup at that slot. I get the Sunday night game is second, but I would assume it was first because things get flexed into that slot.
Sure.
Sunday night prime time real estate on television is very valuable.
The NFL's general principle is to put the biggest game in the time slot with the biggest viewership, which is 3:30 p.m. Sunday. This from the Chicago Sun-Times, so 4:30 for us, 3:30 for them. The draw of those matchups is such that the league could flip a coin, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that is
interesting. I wonder if that's because you're getting crossover from both audiences on either end of the spectrum on that day, meaning you're getting the people that are finishing up watching the 1:00 games. Let me see what's going on at 3:30. The people that are going to watch Sunday night are already at home and sort of settling in. And
my thought on it is that is the time of day, for, across all time zones where I'm setting aside this Sunday afternoon for football. And that's when you're going to have the most people watching. I think the Sunday night game, while it's prime time and it's, it's a coveted slot, you're going to have more people tapping out of that, especially if it goes late on the East Coast, if they don't care, if they're not invested in either team. But Sunday afternoon is for football watching, so that that 4:30 East Coast time slot, that's the one. And that's the one that goes across the country. Everyone's like, nope, that's what I do on Sunday
so
afternoon.
the key word there is football, because if it was any other sport, you would not put the NBA Finals or the World Series on at 4 o'clock on a Sunday. You would put it at 8 o'clock.
But you might do it a little earlier on a Sunday than you would on a weekday. You might do it at 7. They'll do finals games on 7 on Sunday.
Yeah, don't they do? Are there 6 o'clock starts even in the NBA
Well, Zolak is
Finals?
fighting back and saying 8 p.m. is the biggest. Scott, I was on the same side as you. 8 p.m. is the biggest, but according to the Chicago Sun-Times or Chicago Tribune, whatever it is, and according to Phil Perry and Kraft Sports Research, that is what they've said. Scott, you are arguing an argument that I was making, but
Paul Perillo. That wasn't me. That was Paul.
Paul Perillo. Yep. I apologize.
But Fred is not bothered by the late Sunday game in terms of how it affects him. He barely sleeps. As Whoop says, he's getting about 40 minutes of shut-eye a night, so it does not affect him. For you, Phil, were you disappointed to find that it was a primetime game?
No. I mean, it is the sleep thing is going to be a factor the next day.
But it's a playoff game.
Whatever.
And it's a good game.
Yeah.
Like if it was a
don't try. If he didn't like it, let him not like it.
No, I was totally fine with it. I was not bothered. Actually, now we're going to get way into the weeds of my
really
Sunday.
not bothered.
Well, really not bothered.
You weren't influenced by what I said.
It's going to allow me to coach a basketball game on Sunday afternoon, so I like that.
I'm coaching one on Saturday.
Look at that. Turn that frown upside
Yeah,
down.
my daughter has a
Perfect.
game at 11 a.m. on Sunday,
There
so
you
here we
go.
are. We're in the same boat. She has 2 games this weekend. What excitement! All right, we have Phil Perry here. We will get into the weeds here with Sunday night's game, but just real quick first. Well, I want to hear what this is. Chris, go ahead. Hello.
So, Fred, I think you may be missing something here. The 4 o'clock games during the year have 4 games of competition. It's probably the most valuable spot, but it's divided up.
No. In television, here's all I can tell you, is in television, Sunday night prime time is of far more value than Sunday
Absolutely.
afternoon. Right. And so I just went...
Sunday afternoon during the season, they're fighting with each other. You're going to watch, they're collectively getting maybe 60 million people, where if there was one game on, they'd only get 40.
Okay.
But during this time of year, they're getting the 60 at both hours.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good point. Thank you. But that's very... and it's a good thing to think about, and it just shows the power of the NFL, is that they don't have to... They play by a different set of rules.
But there's only so much power. If you're going up against 60 Minutes and America's Funniest Videos, then, how much power do you want them to have on a Sunday night?
About once a year, we revisit what's on networks during prime time now, and it's always fascinating. Because Pitbull will have a game show. Remember that one, John?
Yes.
Pitbull had like a one-off game show.
He works too damn hard, Fred.
That wasn't really thought through at all.
Yeah.
They would come up with mimed dance routines that you had to guess what they were talking about.
Poor Nate Burleson got shanghaied into hosting that thing.
Yeah. They were... There's stuff on because you just don't watch it and you forget that it's around.
He just stumped me with America's Funniest Home Videos. Is that still on?
Alfonso Ribeiro. Yeah, he does a great job.
Wow.
Shame on you.
Okay.
And he was the breakdance kid. Remember?
Of course.
And we all knew he was the new Bob Saget at that point. We all knew because we all knew Saget was a struggling young comic at the time and doing stuff on the Today Show, and we knew that what his career had in store for him as well. All right, look, we'll get into it with Phil and the game and everything else in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right.
Guys.
Overpowered, really. Okay, so we have Phil Perry from NBC Sports Boston, the national athletic guys, because Chris Graff, this Graff kid, it's impossible to get on the show. We're trying to get anyone who's got anything to do with the Patriots on. This is a prime time.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Graff, very difficult.
Chasing Chad Graff.
But he didn't write this. But this is every team, like why they could win and why they couldn't win. It's surprisingly why they could win is Drake May. I mean, you never would have come up with that on your own. Why they won't, and I'm going to ask you this, your opinions on this, because I'm not sure their defense is good. Average, most likely, but it's a weakness for a team that needs to win 4 games to win the Super Bowl. Do you agree with that?
I would say if they have a fatal flaw, it's on the defensive side, and it would be specifically for me, it would be how they defend the run. Now, the last 2 months of the season, they've been among the worst in football at that. And this week, you're going against a team that part of its identity is to want to run the football. They don't really have the personnel to do it. They have a great young back in Amarian Hampton, who's a bigger player. He's banged up. He didn't practice yesterday. He's dealing with an ankle injury. So
is he? Do you believe he's going to play?
It sounds like they're holding out hope that he will. But anytime you miss a Wednesday practice, if he's missing again today, even if he somehow becomes available for Sunday, you have to anticipate that he would be seriously limited, would be my guess there. But it's not even really about him. It's about their offensive line. Their offensive line is so banged up, and we've talked about it a lot this week in terms of their pass protection. And if they get into a drop-back pass game and they're facing a lot of third and longs, that's going to be really bad for them because of what they have, not only a tackle, but on their interior as well. It's not good. But that really hinders them in the run game as well. So they have run it at times relatively effectively, even with Kamani Vidal, who's the backup, who's been in there with Amarian Hampton out. But I just look at this team and say I'm not sure they can hammer the Patriots where the Patriots might be weakest, which is with their run defense.
Okay, and so, because a lot of people are saying the Chargers' weakness is the Pats' weakness, in that their inability to protect the passer, the Patriots' biggest weakness is a lack of a pass rush.
Yeah, I think that's fair to point it out, that because it has sort of come and gone, the Patriots' pass rush has. With Milton Williams, it does get significantly better. So where maybe, a month ago when Williams was first out, it was disappointing in that regard. Now that he's back, I thought you already saw an impact. He played 28 snaps in the season finale, and I know it's the Dolphins, and I know that game was a joke. But not only did I think he was impactful, but he made others around him, including and especially Christian Barmore, more impactful than they had been. So there's a domino effect there with Milton Williams just being on the field that I think will make them a lot better in that regard.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing in it. Obviously, in addition to what he can do personally, but having that added thing that you have to look out for, and having that one guy as your Justin Herbert or anyone else looking across the line, who do I have to worry about? If for whatever reason it's going to be Milton Williams there, then that's going to free up somebody else.
Yeah, it should. And listen, it sounds like Herbert is as healthy as he's been in a while. And so, we continue to hear, hey, he's got that broken hand injury. That could be a real problem. Ball security wise, could be a problem in terms of just taking snaps from under center. But according to people that are covering the team every day out there in LA, yesterday was the first Wednesday practice where Justin Herbert has taken snaps from under center since he hurt his hand. So apparently that week off did him some good. I think Herbert's going to be close to healthy, if not fully healthy, and he is a problem. Like, even if Williams is out there, even if Harold Landry is back and he's back at practice and he's been one of their better pass rushers when he's been healthy, Herbert is the kind of guy that is really challenging because you want to keep him in the pocket. He's great at getting outside the pocket and creating plays outside the pocket. He led the league this year in touchdown passes when outside the pocket. He also was second among quarterbacks in terms of rushing yardage. So he's a problem outside, but he's also a problem when he's unbothered in the pocket. So the magical formula for him is pressure him while he's being kept behind center. And that can be a tough thing to do because you want to try to blitz him. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league against the blitz. You're really going to have to just rely on guys like Williams and Barmore to win their matchups and rush with 4.
Is this the kind of thing where you go man-to-man that in the linebackers and defensive backs have their back to the quarterback, that he breaks free? Is this one of those kinds of situations?
It could be, yeah. So I would anticipate that they're going to continue to play their fair share of zone, which they've done a lot of, and it's been really interesting to watch because they've been such a man-heavy team over the last few years with Belichick and Mayo, and they have a great man-to-man corner in Christian Gonzalez, and he still played well, but I don't know if his skill set is best leveraged by being in a scheme where he's playing a lot of zone. So you look at the matchups receiver-wise, Chargers have Quentin Johnston and Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen, and those are guys that can be challenging matchups. And my guess is on third down, the Patriots are going to play their fair share of man. But I think in part because of Herbert's legs, you're probably going to continue to be your identity or play to your identity as a defense, which for the most part this year has been zone.
Will the Chargers be able to get Drake May confused?
Because this is strength on strength here. I mean, Chargers are good against the run and the pass, and how well can the Patriots move the football against that defense?
Will they be able to disguise and confuse the lad?
They might. They might. Now, again, they have a pretty well-defined defensive identity themselves. So if they determine, hey, we're willing to completely change who we are defensively going into the postseason because we have to be so matchup focused that we're willing to do that, and maybe we can get Josh McDaniels, who's as prepared an offensive coordinator as there is, we can get him to throw away his game plan in the first quarter because we're doing something that he wasn't anticipating we would do. Let's go ahead and do that. That to me is a challenging thing to pull off. What the Chargers do typically is they play a lot of zone, and they play a lot of too high zone. So it's whether it's 4 deep or 2 deep, they have a lot of 2 safeties deep, at least before the ball is snapped. And that can be a problem for the Patriots, who like to throw the ball down the field. They were leading the league this year, regular season, in explosive plays, run and pass. They led the league in explosive play rate through the air. And so when you have those 2 safeties deep, that sort of takes that stuff away. And if you guys remember the second half in the second game against Buffalo, what Buffalo did to slow them down was they played a lot of 2 deep safeties with man coverage underneath. And with guys unable to separate underneath and with Drake May unable to throw the ball deep because of those 2 high safeties, they really shut him down. Now, there hasn't been a team since then that's been able to replicate that, but the Chargers might have the personnel to do that.
If you do that, though, does it leave you vulnerable to the Patriots' run game? Like, if you're keeping 2 safeties high, can they exploit that because they've been very good running the football of late?
In theory, yes. They've been very good, and I think that's part of the reason why. You have seen a little bit more in the way of 2 high safety coverages, and I don't think it's any coincidence that the Patriots' run game has been one of the best in football over the course of the last month. The other thing you can be vulnerable to, if you want to try what the Bills did in those 2 high safeties and man coverage underneath, you'll hear it's cover 5 or 2-man, is a lot of times that doesn't leave a body to spy the quarterback. So the quarterback might be, if he can break the pocket in that sort of situation, he might have room to run.
Okay, so 2 things based on what you just said. The Miami and the Jets didn't tackle. I mean, that's just they didn't tackle.
Looked like they didn't want to be there.
Exactly, and it was certainly the second half for Miami and the Jets. They had guys that
They
aren't
didn't
NFL
tackle
players.
well.
Well, they're not NFL players on that side of the. If you want to do it, if you want to remember this next year, watch who played for the Jets on defense that day and count how many of them are in the NFL at the beginning of next season, and I can tell you that it will be about half. And so, in theory, the Chargers are a good tackling team, right?
Yeah, this is, in my opinion, this is the best defense they'll face all year.
Okay.
The Browns are up there, especially when you're looking at some of the more advanced metrics, but the Browns' offense was so bad, to me, that takes away some of the bite of your defense because you know you don't have to do all that much against them. Patriots played well against that Browns defense, but this might be the best defense they've faced. I would say this is the second best team they've faced all year. I would put them just behind the Bills.
And just for your own, as a Patriot fan, I would suggest May slide because this is a Jim Harbaugh who keeps a collection of broken helmets.
That's right.
Behind his desk. He does. He has a collection of broken helmets from his career of coaching. A player will break his helmet and he'll gift it to Jim Harbaugh. This seems like a team that might take a liberty or two.
Okay, so are you talking about May running, or are you talking about May's head first slide?
No, if head first slide's better.
Yes.
Because the head
Okay.
first slide is better because then you don't get the opportunity to feign that you didn't know they were going down.
I thought that was a good breakdown during the game. I don't know who said it, but it was in this last Patriots game where they were talking about May and how he will dive forward, and whoever was doing the color on the
It's Greg
game.
Olson, I think.
Yeah, he said, I like it. He said, number one, you're getting more yards, but number two, you don't have that ambiguity like you just said, Fred, of like, is he really going down, someone coming in, taking a late hit, diving over your legs, getting to the head.
Well, Mahomes did it. I mean, Mahomes is the reason they can do that because Mahomes would fake slide. And now if you know, he would slow down and kind of like give himself up and then take off again. He did the same thing dicking around the sidelines.
But it does seem, as you're watching it in real time, when a quarterback goes down like head first, guys, for whatever reason, just instinctively pull up more so than they do with the feet first slide.
Yeah, you're right, Hardy. And I've heard it coached this way. Now, this was something that last year's coaching staff tried to drill into Drake May was when you're in traffic, right? So when there are bodies around, go head first. Because it does, seemingly, it helps you avoid those hits where you really are just super exposed when you're going on your back and sliding feet first. But out in space, and my guess is because there's probably some greater risk of injury, even if you're untouched going head first. Like, you could probably land on your shoulder wrong. You could, collarbone. There's probably something that could go wrong that way versus going feet first. So when you're out in the open and there's nobody around, that's when they would encourage him to slide feet first.
And you've already picked up the yards that you need to,
Yeah.
and everything after that is just gravy.
Exactly. Protection of Drake May always very important. 3 guys on the offensive line. There's some question marks. What's the early call on availability?
So you've got illness with Moses and Bradbury. My guess is it's still relatively early in the week, and so my guess is they would be fine to play by the time the game rolls
If I'm
around.
the Patriots, I'm not practicing Moses in the postseason. Just you sit out.
right.
I'm perfectly I'm not even joking. Like, I'm perfectly comfortable with you.
We're at the
playing
end of his
right
age
tackle for us.
34 season. I get it.
Well, yeah,
I
he's
find it-
played hobbled his entire
Yeah,
career. Yeah.
I think it's really interesting the way they've handled some of these guys. Like Hunter Henry was on the injury report yesterday with no injury, but just he was limited yesterday due to rest. So like that's a guy that typically I think likes to practice, but they are late enough into the season. These guys have all played enough snaps. They're not approaching the postseason with a mindset of, ooh, it's the playoffs. We got to do more. Everybody's got to do a little more. We got to work a little harder in practice. We got to do they very much all week, and they've been consistent about this because I'm sure this is the message that's being passed down from Vrabel is if we do what we've done to get here, we'll be fine. And I think that's the right way to do it. I think it's also a good way to ease whatever pressure some of these players, and it's still a relatively young roster. Even some of the veterans that are on this roster haven't seen a lot of postseason football. So if there's any sort of, trepidation going into this portion of the calendar for these guys, I think maintaining your rhythm, maintaining your routine could be really beneficial. So it was Bradbury, Moses, and then who's the third
Wilson.
one?
Wilson.
Well, Jared Wilson. Yeah, he's working his way back, it seems like, although that one's a really interesting one because I don't think Ben Brown has played poorly in his place. And I wonder if because Wilson's missed a little bit of time here and because he was still limited in practice yesterday, if they would look at it and say, let's give him one more week. Let's see what it looks like with Ben Brown. They've run the ball tremendously well with Ben Brown out there. I thought the combination of Brown and Will Campbell looked really, really good. And Campbell in his first game back in that game against the Dolphins the other day. So I'm not sure I would rush to get Wilson back in there, A, because of what he's dealing with, but also because the guy who's filled in, to me, has played well.
All right. Who do you like in this game?
I like the Patriots. I think it's going to be closer than maybe some. I know at our place at NBC, I think the early feeling from a lot of people that I work with was that they're just going to roll the Chargers, and I just don't feel that way. I think their defense is good enough to keep them in it, and I think Justin Herbert, even though he struggled in the postseason in the past, to me, he's still young. He is still somebody who hasn't had a lot of postseason opportunities, and so he's going to, I think, eventually come through in the postseason. I don't think it'll be this week, but he's good enough to keep it close. So I'm seeing a one-score game, but I'll take the Patriots.
Okay, it's interesting that someone would think it was a blowout because there's an argument who has the better roster. I know San Diego. I know San Diego.
Fair enough. That's good.
You know that
You're
they
fine.
have. I know they've had very big injuries.
More
but-
fans there than in L.A.
But if
so.
before the season, if there was even the argument that the Patriots had a better roster than the Chargers, I think that would have been met. Now, as the season progressed, it's more of an argument, but it doesn't seem like a matchup that greatly favors the Patriots in a way that they would roll. I could see thinking that they would win and that they would win, by more than a field goal, but I don't thinking that they would somehow dominate the game. I don't. It's a pretty good coach.
Pretty
It's a
good,
pretty-
and a pretty
it's a
good
good
team, and I'm
coach.
with Phil. It's the second best team they're going to face this year.
Good coach, good quarterback. I think the defense is highly underrated. I don't think people talk enough
Well, they have a
about
straight
their
up
defense.
genius as a defensive
Oh,
coordinator.
yeah.
I found out driving in this morning.
Jesse Minter.
Yeah, straight up genius. He was called.
Who was that?
They were talking about coaching vacancies, and they were talking about who would be interested in the Baltimore job, and they've said the word on Minter is that he's a, quote, straight-up genius.
He's very good, and he's going to have, I think, more than one head coaching interview for sure, and maybe even more than one opportunity.
So who's
because
going to be
the
undefeated?
market's not all that great.
Who just wants to be undefeated next year? They'll have a genius at the helm.
But he is good, and their defense is good, and so again, I think it's going to be close. It's just a question of, can you get ahead? I think if you can get ahead on them, then this could end up looking like a relatively easy game for the Patriots, because I think the Chargers don't want to get into a straight drop back pass game with that offensive line they have.
Yeah, I've heard that, and that's the thing, is that if the Chargers keep this close and it gets down to, and it's a close game, down to a possession, that's when things get interesting. Because how many times have the Patriots been put in that situation? They did it against the Ravens.
Buffalo.
Well, they blew a 21-point lead to Buffalo.
First
No,
meeting,
I know, but
yeah.
it's just they haven't been put in that situation certainly a lot this year. So they haven't played a lot of good teams this year. So this is going to be interesting. So Sunday night should be a fun game. I'm hoping for a fun game because there's no argument that it's not a great coach quarterback combination, and they haven't really faced that this year. So that should be interesting to see. All right, Phil Perry, NBC Sports Boston. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, boys.
And thank you for finally coming in with a collared shirt on. It's about time, as the gentleman had pointed out earlier.
This is relaxed. Me.
Whatever. As long, listen,
Is that
it
flannel?
flies at the club.
Would you call that flannel? I don't know.
He just wanted to touch you.
Yeah, that's a like he flexed when I touched his arm.
Of course he did.
He just wanted to touch a guy that can do weighted pull-ups. I think about that sometimes. I'm like, Phil's
You'll
doing
get there
weighted
someday.
pull-ups.
You'll get there someday,
Waning
big boy.
moments of consciousness before you drift off to sleep. Phil.
Yeah. No, that time's just all spent. How am I going to make the world better tomorrow? What can I do to serve? That's all I'm thinking.
What have you
the
done
lights go
today?
out. Well, I think that the message I bring the audience is one of hope. Certainly, I'm an olive branch to the world.
Okay.
I mean, we've tackled a lot of the big issues in the world today, including Grundle numbness that can happen from riding Peloton. All right. Thank you, Phil Perry. We appreciate it. We'll be back in just a moment to finish things up.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are back out of practice yesterday with a home playoff game coming up Sunday night against the LA Chargers. Garrett Bradbury, Morgan Moses, Anthony Jennings, and Vidarian Lowe all sat out with an illness. Kairos Tonga missing. He has a foot in.
Zacha got knocked down. Here's McAvoy bringing back out toward the blue line. 10 seconds to go. McAvoy down the right circle. Trying to get it in front. They score! Pavel Zacha with the game winner. And the Bruins win it in overtime 3-2.
Every Bruins game on 98.5 The Sports Hub and the Sports Hub app.
My buddy and me.
With friends like these,
to climb up a tree.
you know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, it is the Stack on Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what do we not get to today?
This is kind of exciting because it was brought to mind last night as the boy and I were consuming some television together. I told you, I don't know if I said it on the air, but he sat through No Country for Old Men with me.
Yeah.
In its entirety and enjoyed it.
Very impressive.
So I think it's time for me to maybe go to the other end of the spectrum, and now we'll have a chance to see something in the theaters. June 26th, Johnny Knoxville announcing a new Jackass movie coming next summer. Now, I remember this is one of my fondest memories of watching television with my dad as an adult. I came home from wherever I was living. We're sitting there, and Jackass came on. I said, "Oh, Dad, you should watch this for a minute." And he's laughing. He's like, and he kept asking me questions like, "No, wait a second, what? But why are they doing this?" I said, "Because they're jackasses." "Oh, okay, all right." And then something else would happen. We both laugh. He goes, well, "Wait, but why? But why did he let him, stick those shock things on his balls?" I'm like, "Because they're jackasses." "Okay, all right." He needed some explanation, but not a lot. So I think I've never watched Jackass with my son. I still enjoy them whenever they come on.
I've taken them to the last movie.
Oh, well, so Jackass Forever, I enjoyed immensely.
Oh, they're all great. Yeah.
I laughed so hard in the opening segment, the bike ramp, when they were setting up the ramp over different guys and jumping various vehicles over them. I thought I was going to break a rib in the first 10 minutes of Jackass Forever.
So when my friend that I used to go to L.A. with to do the Grammys, his best friend growing up was Johnny Depp's assistant, and he ended up managing the Viper Room. And the Viper Room is where River Phoenix died. But before that happened, or maybe it was after that. It was probably after that happened. But the Viper Room was this like L.A. club. It was very cool. And so we would get to go in, and we got to go down into the basement where you could smoke. And so the club closes up. We get to hang out. We got Joey McIntyre from New Kids on the Block.
No big
They were kicking him out. We were like, he stays. And so he came down to the basement with us, and we're like smoking and drinking with these guys. And it was this guy PJ and Tremaine and Pontius. And Tremaine and Pontius are like, "Yeah, we're from Big Brother magazine." And I'm like, Big Brother magazine is my favorite magazine. And like, Tremaine's the editor. And they're like, "Yeah, this is PJ. He just did this thing for us where he shot himself with a gun in a bulletproof vest and like did all this stuff. We have this show coming out on MTV."
Wow.
And I'm like, wait, they gave the dudes from Big Brother, because I didn't see the Knoxville thing where he had shot himself, the self-defense stuff.
Yeah.
And sprayed with pepper spray and stuff. I hadn't seen it. Because Knoxville was so desperate, and he lived in the same apartment complex as Johnny Depp's assistant, blah, blah, blah. But he was so desperate to get famous, and he couldn't figure out how. He had this idea where he was going to let him taser him and let him spray pepper spray. But the big thing is he was going to take a .22 and shoot himself in the chest while he was wearing a bulletproof vest. So no one would to let him do it. They were all like, no. Like every TV show and every magazine was like, absolutely no way. But Big Brother magazine at that point was owned by Flynn Enterprises.
Oh, wow, there it is.
But Flynn Enterprises made it way less than it used to be when Steve Rocco owned it. There's a documentary called "The Man Who Sold the World," sold like shoes.
Okay.
Sold the world, and SOLED sold the world about Steve Rocco, World Industries. It's fascinating what they got away with, but turns out. We're hanging out with the Jackass guys right before the show Jackass came out, and they were tremendous guys, and they were so excited that I knew who they were. I had no idea who Johnny Knoxville was. That's who PJ, Johnny Knoxville, and I don't know him. And if I saw him, I wouldn't call him PJ, but that's what they were referring to him. I'm like the good-looking guy, but he can't do stunts anymore because like the next thing Johnny Knoxville can't do anything anymore.
Yeah, he's
because
hosting the new
thing,
Fear Factor, if I remember right.
Fear Factor House or Fear Factor Mansion.
Well, in 10 years, he's going to get our next president elected.
Sweet.
Just like the old host of Fear Factor.
That's right, yeah.
Because Fear Factor is a sign of intelligence. I'm just letting you all know.
Yes.
All right, that'll do it